Fellow boys that get back to the national anthem, I'd like to introduce you, Emily Smith, who's going to come out and sing the national anthem. If I was Emily still brave enough?
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We golden soil, well for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gift of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strength and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
A fantastic rendition of the national anthem. In testing conditions, it's raining. There's a car alarm going off.
It was accompanied by a car alarm. Beautiful backup. Would have been out
Car alarm going off. It only started running when the national anthem started, and beautifully sung. We don't know who was singing it, but we will try and get the name of the singer there. She did a very good job under very interesting circumstances. The umpires have made their way to the centre of the ground. They're dressed in green, as mentioned earlier on by Ash McKay, who's the coordinator of the umpires in the Northern Areas Footy Association. The game's about to get started. As you can hear in the background, the siren's about to sound. Matt Ganley, take us away.
So we'll have Aidan Lee, of course, he's been starring all year, coming up against Ethan Palmer. It's up and down, no one's got a clear tap. Capitola, one of many disposals, no doubt, gets the ball forward here for Krista Brook. They are going with the breeze. Good, strong work there now as Orroroo bring the ball out towards O'Day. He's trying to hassle his opposition there in Klingner. And the ball goes out of bounds right in front of our Facebook feed there. So first chance for any of our Facebook listeners to have a bit of a look at the players as they go past between us and the scoreboard.
The boundary umpire gets into position, goes in a couple of metres and throws it skyward. Good ruck contest once again. No real clear winner. Gets in the hands of O'Day. That's Brody. Kicks it down towards the half-forward line. Slips and slides. Ends up in the hands of the Orroroo player who handballs it to no real clear advantage. And it looks like there's enough numbers there for Chris to clear. Looks like Capitola will get a kick away heading towards the centre.
Capitola getting loose. Goes all the way up to the wing, but he has actually turned the ball over there. Lovely mark taken by Ben Reid. Switches the ball back into the middle. Nearly a collision between the two players there, but John Nicholas has taken the ball just forward to centre. He's dummied once or twice both ways. Now he comes all the way across, finds that man there in Isaac Chapman right in front of us here. He'd be only 15 metres from our commentary spot, just forward right wing here. As Orroroo, they're kicking into a slight breeze. The wind has dropped a bit. He's just chipped the ball across and he finds his skipper there in Tom Reid.
Tom Reid kicks the ball down towards the forward line. Big cluster of players, but without trying to go for the mark, the defender has tried to spoil it. That looks like a tie on Capitola. In fact, it's not Capitola at all, is it? In fact, the player in Sean Capitola, not Luke. Might have accidentally called him the wrong Christian name.
They look similar.
Yeah, absolutely. They look like brothers. Chips over to Weckett. Weckett, once again, nice little chip. It hasn't really gone anywhere. It's still 40 metres out from the Orroroo goal, and it's in the hands there of the player in Eagle. The Eagle kicks down towards the centre looking for Coombe. He spills a slippery ball in with the chest mark attempt. Goes to Moten. Moten kicks it down towards the half-forward line. In the race, the ball, Hompshires in the lead. Picks up beautifully with a wet ball. Handballs over the top and finds Finn. Finn has a couple of metres spare. Goes on the left and doesn't really get connection of it. 60 metres out from the Orroroo goals. Cluster of players, 4 or 5, have got the hands on. There's high contact. They found a free. Orroroo's going to be kicking from around 55 metres, too far out in wet conditions, obviously. It is wet, it's getting dark, and it's very overcast, very cold, and still quite windy.
Good start here from Orroroo going into this wind. Homps now makes his way up. He's looking up there for Darren Hughes. He's unable to find him. He puts a heavy tackle on there. Good work. Good physical start here to the Roo boys. They'll be pleased with this. Still no score, as we're a couple of minutes into this first quarter. Ball is thrown up once more. Good tap down. Through comes Capitola again. That's just the ball is edged out there by Aidan Lee out in front of the pack, looking for somebody to run on it unsuccessfully. A couple of heavy tackles there. The umpire's letting this one go. Probably a good idea. Lots of players around the ball, and it will be tossed up just near the right point post in the Orroroo forward line.
Cake of soap is what the ball's like at the moment, slipping and sliding, very hard to control it. The Crystal Brook player, defender in Capitola, Luke Capitola's made his way down the fence, kicked it, it ended up in the hands of Lee. Lee for Orroroo, handballs backwards to go forwards and chips it over, and Darren Hughes has got it. He's almost in, as you can hear by one of the crowd behind us. Have a go, they've called. Darren Hughes, he looks like he's in the distance. 35 to 40 metres. He plays on, goes around his mark, has a shot for goal. It's going to go to the left-hand side of the stick. Minor score, Darren Hughes. First score for the game, Orroroo 1 minor. Orroroo will kick in. A couple of minutes gone, first quarter.
Very, very tough kick from there. That wind is keeping the ball out of the goals. They're going to have to attack pretty much straight in front to have a chance. A long clearing kick there, right down into the centre square. Nearly taken off hands, calls the umpire, as the ball then goes forward from Richmond. Played a good game last time these two sides met, and he'll be looking for another big one now. Over the ball there, going through is Ryan Finn, playing on the wing. He now gets the ball out, and there's a free kick paid out, and I think it is in the back, I believe so, and that one will come back to Campbell. I think this one is. Campbell comes all the way across and comes across to Luke Capitola. He drops it now. He's forced to play on. He's already had 4 or 5 possessions. We've called him, and he's kicked it out right over in front of the club rooms here. It is absolutely packed here behind us as I stand up and have a look around as they're about to throw the ball back in. Entertaining start here, Chuck. No scores, but very entertaining.
Minor score to Orroroo. Situation's been thrown in half forward line. Sorry about the confusion there. Great tap by Coombe that goes to Coombe, ends up in the hands of a bit of aerial ping pong, tapped on by Luke Capitola, ends up in the hands of Coombe again. Ooh. There are 2 Coombs, so he hasn't got 4 stats for one player. A good little bit of fortune there. A bit of a kick, but it wasn't really a pass. It was a bit of a kick out of congestion. It's landed on the chest of Hill. Good piece of work. He was in the right place at the right time, Hill. Fantastic goal kicker, Daniel Hill. He's been demoted because of Eagle. He's in a forward pocket and very deliberate in his approach, kicking from 35 to 40 metres, and it's gone straight through the middle. First major for the Brookies. First major for the game. 1 straight 6, lead Orroroo 1 minor. And the sun, ladies and gentlemen, has just poked its head out again. What stats have you got for us from Peter Richards?
Inside 50s are interesting. Orroroo had gone inside 54 times straight to the point. Crystal Brook have only got it once and they've got a goal. So that's what Orroroo, I think Matty was alluding to earlier on, that Orroroo has to make every chance count.
Information that's just come through in regards to quarter time scores, Moonta versus Cougars. I told you that Moonta were in the lead by 3 goals, which is correct. They're actually kicking into a very stiff breeze, so Moonta very much on top in the York Peninsula Grand Final at Middleton. The ball makes its way back to the centre. Umpire Murdoch throws it skyward, and Lee is up against Palmer. No real clear winner, but it's ended up in the hands of Coombe. Handballs to Klingner. Klingner goes over towards the half-forward flank, looking for the player there in Richmond. Forced out of bounds. 60 metres out from the Crystal goal, and we'll have the boundary umpire throw it in.
A little bit too easy there with Klingner coming off that back flank, able to run through the middle of the ground, take the handle and push it long. Ball gets knocked down there by Declan Duffy, taking the ruck there before the ruckman was able to get there. As the players stacks on the mill, it's right half-forward flank here for Crystal Brook as they're going to attack again. Crystal Brook 1 straight goal to Orroroo 1 point. Now the ball is tossed up. It's on the far side of the ground, very close to the line, and in fact it has actually gone out now as we just go over about the 7-minute mark of of the first term. It is still quite early in the game. Ball is tossed in. Now comes over the back. Some heavy contact there. Now here they come with Coombe. Coombe now snaps it around the corner. He's got silky skills, but not even he can steer that one through with that wind.
Another Coombe to Coombe situation there. Nice forced handball out to his brother. Coombe to Coombe, minor score 1 goal, 1-7. Lead Orroroo 1 minor score 1. Great contest so far. The sun is shining. Still cold, still breezy. Fullback for Orroroo plays on, kicks to himself and kicks out towards, that's Luke Bowman, kicks out towards the half back line. Good contested ball, gets knocked down to the Orroroo player and kicks out towards the wing. It looks like it's been kicked out of bounds in the full. And Daniel Hill will have a kick in. Too far out to score, but an error by the Orroroo player there. A bit of a wet ball slipped off the side of his boot. Hill kicks uncontested ball. Lambert drops an easy mark. Easy in dry conditions, not so easy on a day like today. Falls to the ground and he's tackled straight away.
He's a very skilled player. He'll be disappointed with that. Now the ball comes out towards the Crystal Brook goal. It's picked up there by Bowman. Accidentally smothered off his own boot by his own player there. Now Crystal Brook make their way forward. The snap comes around the corner. I think that was the player there in Richmond. We'll wait until he turns around, but that's a magnificent goal now. 2 goals, 1. Crystal Brook 13. Lead Orroroo 1 behind.
Opportunistic there. Nice crumbing there by the Crystal Brook player. It is Richmond, I believe. Picked it up cleanly. Wet, slippery ball. He's been watching AFL because as soon as he's kicked the goal, he's celebrated with a couple of high fives and then he runs off. Actually, correction, it wasn't Richmond, it was Sean Capitola. Very good, skillful player. Very good, skillful situation there, snapping the goal from 45-degree angle with speed. Ball makes its way back to the centre. Once again, Beetle Murdoch, the umpire, gets the ball. Umpire's all dressed in green, trying to disguise themselves in this beautiful oval at Jamestown. Ball gets thrown skyward. Lee versus Palmer again. Clear tap to Lee there.
Holding
goes
on.
straight down the throat of his rover there in Duffy, Declan Duffy. And he's tackled high, and it's a free kick. He goes out towards the half-forward line. Decides to go to his ruckman in Lee, who plays on straight away. Looks down there, looking for Homps. Homps had to spoil to get a chance to get the ball again. Gone a bit too far. Good tackles there. Good follow-up. Good follow-up by the player there in Homps. He spoiled the ball 5 metres away. Then he went and tackled the player from Crystal Brook who had it. And there'll be a throw-up 35 metres out from the Orroroo.
Lovely follow-up there from Homps. She was out of position twice, but still made the contest and stopped Crystal Brook from getting out. Hughes now tries to pick the ball up, gets it over towards the player there in John Nicholas. He's unable to get it out. As Crystal Brook get numbers around the ball now, and Campbell Coombe picks it up, gives it back to the umpire. Beetle Murdoch will throw it up once more. Plenty of players around this ball. Now the kick comes out, going up towards the wing. Up goes Luke Slattery for his first effort at the ball, but it is spoiled away from him by Aidan Lee, the big man from Orroroo. What a fabulous player! What a fabulous year that he has had, Aidan Lee. Of course, 15 votes. He was the leading vote getter in the medal for Orroroo. Tossed in, gets tapped down once more, down to Declan Duffy. They pile into his back. The umpire says no, free.
Ruckwork being very attractive already by Lee. He's tapping it straight to the player that he needs to. Normally it's Duffy, believe it or not. And once again, he's tapped it down to himself this time, and he's tackled straight away. Bit of a tap and a gather. He's tackled straight away, thrown to the ground, and there'll be a throw up. You'll probably see it on the Facebook feed in the fact that it's 55, 60 metres out from the Orroroo goal. Once again, Lee taps the ball. This time it ends up in the hands of the opposition player in Arvin. That's Isaac Arvin. Once again, stacks on the middle. 5 or 6 players grab the ball and grab each other. And the umpire comes in and says, there's no way of getting that out. Let's throw it up in the air.
He's very agile for a big man, isn't he, Aidan Lee? Like when the ball hits the ground, he becomes another on-baller. He taps it down once more. It's picked up there by Ryan Finn. He tries to make his way forward. Tackled to the ground there by Campbell Coombe. And Beetle here is going to throw the ball up now. He gets it, finally gets in there. Beautiful tap right over the top there to O'Day. O'Day comes defensively there towards Finn. Finn then handballs it back towards Hughes. All in tight here. O'Day picks it up. Now back towards Aidan Lee. He's pushed in the back. The crowd behind us have certainly seen something they didn't like. I'm not sure what it was, but Aidan Lee now picks the ball up. It's smothered off the boot. Did he go over the mark? No, says the umpire. Player comes through there in Campbell Coombe. He's tackled to the ground. Well, nearly come over the mark there, I think.
I reckon he did
you
go
pick
over
up
the
what they weren't happy with there?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but the crowd behind us, we might have to get the blooper button in a minute. But anyway, Palmer taps it down. He palms it down, if you like, to Luke Capitola. Capitola dodges the ball. He's gone for holding the ball. Well done by Brodie O'Day. Good tackle. Luke Capitola looked to go on his right. He saw nothing there. Went to go on his left, and by the time he changed his mind, it was too late. Good piece of work. Lovely lead by Hodge. And a lovely piece of delivery by Brodie O'Day. Great piece of football. Probably a 35-metre pass, and very impressive piece of football.
Beautiful
nice lead, nice pass.
Beautiful skills there, of course. Brodie O'Day, 2011 male medalist himself. He's certainly got some serious skills. And Homch managed to get himself on the end of that. They need a little bit of reward here, Orroroo, because they have had plenty of the ball without being to translate that onto the scoreboard. And they're going to need to do this if they're going to keep Crystal Brook within their sights. However, they are doing quite well as he makes his way forward there. We're over halfway through. He goes, it looks pretty ugly off the boot, and it's gone towards the left-hand side and through for Eddie Horn.
Sure what's happened with the ball, but it's stuck underneath someone's car, I think, because there's not a lot of action. Oh, here we go. We've got the ball back now. The boundary umpires had to go to another suburb to find it, I think. It
happens at the MCG all the time, Chook.
Yes. Ball's kicked out, and you can see the size of the wind by the kick that's come in. I reckon that's gone about 55, 60 metres with a wet ball. So there is a favourance towards the Crystal Brook end as far as the wind is concerned, but the wind's certainly not as strong as what it was, man.
No, exactly right. 2-1 Crystal Brook, 2 points to Orroroo. We're approaching the 20-minute mark. The ball is now third man up, comes over the top. Now Crystal Brook managed to stream forward. They're hoping to get a bit of free space there. Oh, great work there from Orroroo as they come screaming in there.
That would have been a free kick in the AFL
exactly
last night.
Right, exactly.
Hitting someone under the knees as you dive. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you there, but once again, Aidan Lee, great tap, but it goes straight to Declan Duffy again, who's tackled straight away again, and the umpire will come in and throw it up again.
See, the wind certainly still is strong. You can hear it there. Now the ball comes out, goes there forward through that man in Matt Weckett. Makes his way, tries to get it across. It comes off hands and out of bounds. So we're between, we're at the right half forward flank here for Crystal Brook as they make their way forward once again. Aidan Lee gets himself into great positions there as a ruckman. Does very well. Heavy contact there on Ben Reid. Play on calls the umpire as they keep coming in now. It's picked up there by Tom Moten. He's been in great form. He tries to kick the ball towards safety and does so further along the boundary line on the true wing position.
We spoke to one of the umpires this morning during the sports show and talked about the deliberate rule and the AFL deliberate rule. Well, I reckon if we had the deliberate rule here, it would have been about 4 free kicks already today. Once again, Crystal Brook with Combe plays on into space. Lambert was on his own. He had probably 10 metres of spare space. He's played on straight away. He's in the forward 50 zone. Kicks down towards looking for the player there in Eagle. Ball slips off the side of his boot, goes out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in by the boundary umpire down Crystal Brook's end, 30 metres around from the right-hand side.
Would have just about been within range there, I reckon, Chook, especially with this wind. Nathan Lambert trying to do the team thing. Ball is tossed into the wind. You can see the umpire struggling there to get it there. It snapped back over the corner there unsuccessfully by Richmond. And once again, we're going to be plenty of ball-ups on a day like today, plenty of scramble for both sides. Orroroo trying to make every contest count. Comes down now. Crystal Brook are trying to get the ball out unsuccessfully. Through goes Millard. He's unable to get it, and a free kick has been picked out there.
High contact, I reckon.
High, was it? Yep.
And the ball from Bowman gets kicked down towards the wing. Once again into a breeze. Bit of a push and shove there by the Orroroo player in Moten. He got away with it though, and the ball's been socked along over near the bar on the other side of the oval. Great work by Brodie O'Day to position himself to get the ball from the Crystal Brook's feet. But it stays on the ground. 3 players jump on top of it. Once again, the umpire will come in and throw it up. Lee taps it down. Once again, great piece of work to tap it to Hughes, but it's forced out of his hands by the Crystal Brook defender. And it'll stay over on the far side, basically in the centre wing position. No real favouring either side at the moment. Throw up. Once again, a bit of a scoop, but the umpire didn't see it that way. Goes down towards Orroroo's half-forward line. Hompsh's 2 versus 1 down there, and it's a beautiful spoil by the player in Richards, and it goes out of bounds 55 metres away from the Orroroo goalmouth.
Shane Richards got the job there on Homsch. He's had a good start here, Homsch. Richards has been in for him, but it's just the two men we're speaking about. Homsch now runs on.
Well done.
Dribbles it along the ground. Is it accurate? Yes, it is. Get the nod. That's a great goal. That's exactly what they were looking for there, Orroroo. As we go to about the 18-minute mark of this first quarter, as the scores are reversed here, 2-1-13 to Crystal Brook, 1-2 Orroroo, 8. Of course, Crystal Brook kicking with the breeze.
Fantastic and intelligent play by Nick Homsch there. He could have easily kicked the ball properly in through the goals, but he saw a player approaching and he decided to dribble along the ground, and it was a very intelligent goal there by Nick Homsch. He's been very busy in the first 18 to 20 minutes of this first quarter. Fantastic vocal point down there, Matt Ganley. He's a very good target for him.
Excellent, looking very busy, very busy. Ball is tossed up once again. Aidan Lee again dominating in the ruck so far, but again Crystal Brook are able to try and get the ball forward. It hasn't gone 10 as Crystal Brook punched the ball forward there through Fowlis. It's repelled there by Brad Eagle. Brad Eagle, a few turnovers here though as it comes back to Reid. He then punches the ball in. O'Day's got a bit of space here. He looks forward. He's going back towards that man we were talking about, Homsch. Good spoil there from Brad Eagle. The ball is bouncing around. Great attack at the ball there. Luke Capitola. He runs in straight lines, this boy. And as they all pile on. No, it's still coming out. Isaac Arbin picks the ball up and goes back towards the centre.
Goes towards the centre. Contested ball. Luke Slattery taps the ball to ground. Once again, it's 3 versus 1. Orroroo's way there in regards to player numbers. Good piece of work out of the centre. Going down towards half forward line. Good piece of work defensively by Crystal Brook. And Coombe will take the mark. He's a true centre half back. Goes to play onto that beautiful left foot. He goes to do a torp and it goes off the side of his boot. It's out near the commentary box. Good piece of work by the Crystal Brook defender there. I think that's Chapman.
It is, yep.
That's Isaac Chapman. It's slipped out of his hands and it's been forced out of bounds. True centre wing in front of the canteen, in front of where we are and in front of the biggest part of the crowd.
Gives you a little bit of an idea. I think Crystal Brook feel they're struggling now to get the ball inside 50. That's why he might have gone the barrel there. Now comes through Jay Slattery. He's tackled heavily. There's no space there. As I said, the big man Aidan Lee, he's down on all fours, making sure that the ball comes out. His form's been outstanding in the 4 games against Orroroo against Crystal Brook. He's been in the top 2-3 times, and once again he's up high in the best players. He tries to get the tap out again. Again, the ball will be bowled up once more.
Quarter time in North Eastern Football League Grand Final. BSR 2-2 lead Blythe Snowtown yet to score. That's quarter time score from Clare. Ball gets forced out and finds Fowlis. Fowlis goes towards the half forward line. Good piece of work there by Finn to knock the ball to ground. Good piece of defensive work there by the player at Crystal Brook. Kicking down, gee, that wind. Oh, Luke Slattery's come in late. And as you can probably hear by one of the
extra commentary from behind.
we won't use the dump button, but a great defensive mark by Reid. Reid kicks the ball beautifully. Nice pass, finds his skipper or his co-skipper in Darren Hughes. Hughes plays on, looks out towards the right-hand side, looking for his ruckman. Good piece of work, good body positioning by Aidan Lee, who plays on once again onto that trusty left, looking for Homsch. Homsch is in front. I tell you what, he's taken. No, he hasn't been paid. It's been picked up by the player there Fowlis. In Jake Fowlis. Goes down towards the forward pocket. It's over near the scoreboard. You can see it in the Facebook feed. Good piece of work and outnumbering players there. Crystal Brook will have the ball and will clear.
Oh, Tommy Moten, if he had his time again there, I think he would have tried to hold that ball up. He went for it all. Jonathan, ball's come back now. Back into centre half back as the player there in Will Coon chips the ball across. They might just try and hold the ball up here, but mind you, they've got the win. They can't really afford to do it. Slattery's got the ball. Luke Slattery's chipping the ball across. He finds Campbell Coombe coming off of 3 male medals. He's certainly in some form. But they need to get going here, Crystal Brook. Orroroo are up and about. The game is on, without a doubt. Now the ball goes across. Good numbers getting back here. Ben Reid, once again, he's found plenty of the ball early. Chips it, uses that left foot. He's hugging the boundary line. But unfortunately for him, he was looking there for Will Bennett. Wasn't able to find him. That ball drifted out, far side wing.
It's on the far side wing. Luke Slattery plays on straight away and finds the male medalist. He's been busy. Campbell Coombe goes long. Every kick that he's had, he's tried to go as long as he can. And it's a great pass to his brother in Will. Will's taken the mark 35 metres out from the Crystal Brook goal. He's on a very tight angle, but if you're a left legger, that's where you want to be, on that side of the ground. He'll be using that arc to get it around, certainly within distance with this breeze. Very deliberate with his approach. He takes his mouth guard out, puts it in his sock, does up his shoelace. No time clock here. He's not being told to, he's only got 15 seconds left. He's got plenty of time to have this shot. Very deliberate, very tight angle. has a bit of a stammer with his start. It's an ugly looking kick off the boot, and it's gone to the near side. Minus score only. That takes the score to 2 goals, 2-14. Crystal Brook, Orroroo 1 goal, 2-8. A 1 goal margin here late in the first quarter at Jamestown Oval.
That wind is certainly having an effect, yeah. Will Coombe, he's got 33 goals this year from his 17 games. He is a good goal scorer. A season high of 4. He's a beautiful kick of the football. So might just cross to Pete. Have you got any inside 50 stats there, Pete, or what have we got for us?
Just before I get to that one, Matty, Orroroo have actually cleared the ball, won the clearances the last 5 times in a row. So that sort of indicated their dominance or their efforts. So well done.
Dylan Fowlis now, he gets the ball from the kick out, makes his way, pushes the ball up towards that wing with a player there, and Declan Duffy's trying to put on a tackle, does so successfully. Over there next to right in front of the boozer, Chook.
Yep, good place to be. Ball gets thrown up. Far side wing, once again, Aidan Lee, fantastic tap straight down the throat of his rover, but his rover is picked up by an opposing player. Tackled, thrown to the ground. That rover was Tom Moten. Ball gets thrown up once again, a clear tap, but it's no real clear advantage. It's been knocked forward towards the Orroroo. Great piece of work by the Orroroo forward line. Looking once again out towards the right-hand side. It's only 20 metres out from the Orroroo goal now. A bit of a shimmy by the player there. Looks inboard, looking for Homsch. Great piece of work by Homsch to get it clear. Moten's there, Homsch is there. There's 3 on 1. The Finn, I think it was, has kicked the ball basically in the air, and it looks like it's going to roll out of bounds. It has. They outnumbered the Crystal Brook defenders there, Matt.
Just couldn't get the clear ball there. Finn trying to shark it, as they say.
Using his opposite leg.
Exactly right. Ball is tossed in left forward pocket. They're playing well here, Orroroo. There's a snap out of the pack, goes there and forward towards that man that's been busy, Nick Homsch. And it is bundled over. So 1 goal, 3 Orroroo trail Crystal Brook 2-2. However, Crystal Brook have the win, and we're getting very close to siren time. Comes out to Joe Slattery. He chips the ball over. He's looking for his man there in Leo Coates, who has been paid the mark. So there's no advantage there that can be paid to Campbell Coombe, who tried to take off. Leo, of course, he's the only under 17 on the ground. Very, very talented junior. He now will make the clearing kick from half back.
Good piece of work there by the Crystal Brook defenders to not give away a major score there. It's right smack bang in front of us. Good piece of work there by the Orroroo player in Chapman. He's tackled by 3 Crystal Brook players, including the coach, Luke Slattery, and the umpire will come in and throw it in. Smack bang in front of us here on the wing. Good piece of work by the boundary umpire to throw it in. No real clear ruck work winner there. It ends up in the hands of Orroroo.
There it is.
And that is the siren. Great quarter by both teams. It must be said that Orroroo would be pretty happy with that situation. Into a breeze, and they're only trailing by less than a goal.
It's one of those breezes that's, even if you've got it, it's not that easy to kick goals with it. It's relatively, the defenders have got a chance as well. So
the ball gets thrown up while we're having a bit of a chat, and once again Aidan Lee gets the tap, but no real clear advantages. I'm going to ask a couple of kids to get out the way because we're commentating, and I'm just about to get a football on top of our commentary box electrical equipment here. But the ball is on the half-forward line for the Crystal Brook side. Will Coombe picks up a ball that's been tapped down to the ground with no clear advantage, but it goes down towards the 50-metre arc. It's been forced over the boundary line by good defensive work by Liam O'Day, and we'll have a throw-in on the far side over near the scoreboard. You might even be able to see it on the Facebook feed.
We certainly mentioned Brodie O'Day's brother there, Liam, of course, playing in defence. Ball comes in. Aidan Lee nearly grabs that ball and then palms down towards Reed. Now the handball comes back out as Orroroo try and make their way forward, going up towards the wing. Spoiled there, a good spoil coming from Luke Seymour as he gets in front of Liam O'Day and punches that ball. Sorry, Brodie O'Day, and punches that ball out.
Boundary umpire throws the ball in once again. Lee versus Palmer, no clear advantage. I thought I heard a whistle, but it obviously wasn't a whistle. The ball's ended up on the ground. Player there in Weckett grabs the ball, but he's grabbed by 2 Orroroo players, forced the ground, and the ball gets thrown up again. Thrown up, no real clear advantage. Orroroo, it's on their half-back line. Good piece of work by Coombe. He's tackled straight away. The umpire didn't see anything wrong with it, so it's play on. It's still on the 50-metre arc for Crystal Brook. It's gone a head-high tackle, I reckon.
No, he's paid it. He's paid it for diving in there to against Moten.
Joe Slattery kicks the ball down, looks for Hill and finds him on the chest. You might be able to see it on the feed. It's almost in front of the scoreboard. Fortuitous kick down there by Slattery. Ended up on the chest of Daniel Hill, and he'll be having a set shot smack bang in front of the goals. No angle to talk of. Kicking from around 35 metres. Into this breeze. The sun's now shining. It's been a very funny sort of day. Good. Oh, that's a lovely kick. The umpire did not have to move a muscle. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. And that's another major and another lovely piece of goal kicking by Daniel Hill. 3-2 the score for Crystal Brook, which is a total of 20. 11-point lead now in favour of Crystal Brook over the top of Orroroo very early in the second term.
Yeah, Daniel Hill, he's played 11 games this year for 40 goals. 4 times he's got away for 6-goal games, and of course has scored pretty heavily against Orroroo previously. He got away for 6 last time they played. Ball is tossed up once again. Lee comes in once again, gets a tap, and this time not really to any advantage. Handball comes out there, but now the ball comes through out towards Coombe. Campbell Coombe, he's put down afterwards. He is put down afterwards, and
he put a bit of mayonnaise on it though, I think, Matt. It was late, but it probably didn't need to spin him around a couple of times like a ballet dancer.
Yeah, exactly right.
So he made sure the umpire saw it.
It's just so unnecessary for to do it in such a crucial time. This is a perfect start if Crystal Brook can get away. As the big man, Eagle, makes his way forward. That's a beautiful kick as well. That's lovely. That's a lovely kick from 40 metres into that breeze. So Crystal Brook now go out to 4-2. That will be 26 to Orroroo, 1-3-9. Not the start the Roo boys were looking for, but Crystal Brook have come out firing.
No real issues in regards to the free down after play, because Eagle ended up with the ball anyway. So he's ended up with it. He's kicked a goal, and Crystal Brook now take that lead out to 17 points. What have you got for us, Peter Richards?
Kicks already 5-1 in favour of Crystal Brook. So
early in the second term, the ball's made its way back. Thanks, Peter Richards, for those stats once again. Doing a brilliant job as Lee for Orroroo goes up against Palmer. Lee gets a good tap again. Once again, it gets down towards Declan Duffy. Duffy, he's ends up getting tackled straight away. Ball's forced out. Dribbles along the ground, few players jump on it, and it's on the half-forward line for Orroroo, and the umpire will throw it up again.
Up it goes. Lee tries to get it down. There's tackling, heavy tackling there, but before he got the ball, and Tom Moten, he's only little in stature, but certainly goes in very hard. He makes his way forward. He's up there looking for that man in Homch. It slips out of his hands. Redden's trying to move on to the ball. Back behind the play, lifts the ball up, handballs it back inside, goes there across to the player. Once again, O'Day's trying to get it, but the ball goes out. Brad Eagle steps over the line, takes it out, and will be tossed in the left half-forward flank, between half-forward and forward pocket for Orroroo.
Ball gets thrown in. Good piece of ruck work by the Crystal Brook player there, but once again it hits the ground, and once again 3 or 4 players jump on it, and the umpire will come in to throw it up. Still only 35 metres out from the Orroroo goal, 45-degree angle. 17-point lead to Crystal Brook here early in the second term. Once again, the ball gets tapped down. It's kicked towards Seymour, but he's been told that it didn't go the distance. Play on. He does play on, and he's forced out of bounds. Once again, it's in the same spot again, 35 metres around from the left-hand side point post, Orroroo's forward line.
Yeah, went 15 metres. Unfortunately, it was straight up and down, though, and not across the ground. Now the kick comes out from Coombe there once more. Ball is just run over there by Isaac Chapman. Now it's punched forward. They're looking for a mark here. Through comes Dennis Redden, and has taken that mark. In the end, he took it reasonably easy. He got a little bit loose there on Brad Eagle, used his experience. Of course, Dennis Redden is the major goal scorer for Orroroo for the season. Has 43 goals, apologies. A couple of times, he's got a couple of bags of 6. This will certainly give him a fair bit of confidence if he can manage to slot this one through as he pops it on his left boot, straight through the middle. That's exactly what this game and what Orroroo needed is that man there, Dennis Redden, to get up and about.
Score 4-2, 26 Crystal Brook lead Orroroo 2-3, 15. 11-point margin in favour of Crystal Brook as the scoreboard attendants in northern areas and northeastern are very well known for standing in front of the numbers, Matt Ganley. Have you noticed?
Yeah, very much so. Just quick scores. Moonter up by 6 goals in their grand final, and and the Eagles United Yolanda are up by 5. We haven't got scores, we've just got margins, but that'll do. Looks like they're going quite well.
I can tell you that we're actually getting a lot of text messages from a lot of people. We're actually getting 6 lots of messages from the York Peninsula Football League, which is fantastic. So keep
Excellent
up the good
stuff.
work.
Thank you.
We're getting
But
plenty
they're
of
all the same.
Yeah, they are all the same. So thank you to all the people that are sending through scores. The ball makes its way back to the centre. Once again, we'll see Lee go up. No real clear winner in the ruck there, but once again it gets tapped down, and like it's been happening all afternoon, it goes to a player who's tackled straight away. The ball's been forced out now. Good piece of work by Fowler to try and tap it forward. It ends up in the hands of Weckett for Crystal Brook on the half-forward line for Crystal Brook. He was tackled, the ball forced out, heads to the ground, as do the players that jump on it. Fowler is the last one up, and he gives it to the umpire to throw up.
No clear winner there. Ball comes down and is set upon by Will Coombe. He tries to break his way free unsuccessfully. The tackling's been fierce. Crystal Brook are starting to get their fair share there. They were led to the ball a little bit by Orroroo, despite holding the lead there. Now the ball is hacked out there by Campbell Coombe. Makes his way forward. Lovely spoil away. Is that a free kick? Yes, it is. The umpire's going to play advantage. The ball goes through Dylan Fowler. He's looking all the way up there towards that player in Declan Duffy. He's trying to get a handball on it. Gee, that's a risky handball back over his head there from Luke Seymour, but he'd actually already gone out by the time that it was done. Shook. So on the right half forward flank, ball will be tossed in once more.
It is tossed in, and 2 Rovers were doing the ruck work. The boundary umpire did the right thing and got rid of it. It's ended up in the boot of Fowler, who kicks it down towards a contest. Looks like Hampshire's going to be looking for a chance there against Seymour, but it's going to be cleared away by Richards with the left boot, and good clearing kick who's taken by the Crystal Brook player. I think that's Weckett, who plays on straight away on the far side, kicks it down, didn't really take his time to see what he was doing, and it ended up in the hands of Biley. Biley for Orroroo. Comfortable chest mark, kicks down towards the half-forward line for Orroroo. Looking for a contest, and there's a big contest of 4 or 5 players there. Ends up in the hands of the player there for Crystal Brook, who clears down towards the half-forward line, looking for the player in Millard, who picks up nicely, but looks like it's going to be forced out of bounds, and it has been. It's now on the half-forward line for Crystal Brook, and we'll have a throw-in over near the opposite side bar.
Both sides getting a few numbers behind the ball here, so they're just struggling to make it across the half-forward line. Both sides giving up. Handball comes back now from Dylan Fowler, goes back towards Ryan Finn. Now back towards Fowler. Now there's good pressure on from Crystal Brook. They wrap him up there. The player there in Campbell Coombe lays a heavy tackle on, but the ball's not coming out. Once again, it'll be tossed up as Aidan Lee comes in, taps the ball down. Now it comes towards that player in Finn. He makes his way up forward. There's a 2-on-1 there. He's going to have his work cut out here, Darren Hughes. He can't do so successfully as Crystal Brook now make their way back up. Oh, that was a little bit fortuitous, and it falls in the arms of Nathan Lambert at centre half forward.
Lambert, 60 metres out, too far to score, obviously, kicking into the breeze. Good piece of work by the defensive player there of Orroroo. Eagle grabs the ball, tries to slam it on his left, but smothered straight away. It's only 15 to 20 metres out from the Crystal Brook goal. Good piece of defensive work by the Roos, and the umpire will come in and throw it skyward. Beetle Murdoch throws it up. No real advantage. Hill grabs it out of the ruck and slams it on his boot. Doesn't go very far. Ends up in the hands of Capitola. He's tackled and slammed to the ground straight away. Once again, it's only 10 or 15 metres out. Oh, it's landed in the hands of the Crystal Brook player there. The goal umpire says it's through. I'll get a look on that. I reckon it was one of the Coombe boys. I reckon one of the Coombe boys might have whacked it on his right leg. We'll find out who that is for you in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. But goal to Crystal Brook. That takes the score 5 goals, 2-32. They lead Orroroo 2 goals, 3-15. 17-point margin in favour of Crystal Brook. Roughly halfway through the second quarter.
Plenty of interchange being made there with that goal. It's been quite fierce. Crystal Brook again.
I'm going to give it a Nathan Lambert. That goal actually.
No problem at all. We'll run with that. So once again, it is that class of Crystal Brook that are able to take full toll of their opportunities. Ball is balled up. Lee touched down right in front of him, able to hit the ground before anybody is in there to be able to try and get it. Well, now it comes out. I thought the umpire was going to blow it, and I think the umpire was going to, but then left it just long enough for Richmond to get a clearing. He's now gone out towards Will Bennett. Will Bennett turns the ball over. Now it comes back inside. Isaac Arbin just come onto the ground, and that's a beautiful tackle. No opportunity to get rid of it. Nice heavy work there from the skipper in Darren Hughes.
Half forward line for Crystal Brook still. They lead Orroroo by 17 points, about halfway through this second term here at the Jamestown Oval. Good clearing kick by Orroroo, down towards the half-forward line, looking for Duffy. Duffy, it's 2-on-1. He's tackled straight away, but he's shrugged the tackle.
Well done.
Gets the ball down towards the 50-metre arc for Orroroo. Once again, 2-1 in favour of Crystal Brook, but it's been forced out of bounds. That's probably a good result as far as Orroroo's concerned because they were outnumbered. Dennis Redden sees it over the boundary line, 25 metres around from the right-hand side point post. Peter Richards, what have you got for us?
Inside 50s, 3-4 in favour of Orroroo, actually. But otherwise pretty tight.
They need to use the ball a bit longer with this breeze, Matt Ganley. But anyway, the ball's been thrown in. Good piece of work, handball to Richards from Luke Capitolo. It looks like he's kicked the ball out of bounds in the full, and Orroroo will bring it back with a bit of interest. Too far out to score. They're about 70 metres out, but with this breeze, they'd be booting it in long, you would think. Crystal Brook positioning themselves the best way they can in the 50-metre arc. Poor kick by Orroroo. It's gone inboard and it's ended up in the hands of Will Coombe, who's kicked down towards the forward line. Goes down towards Eagle. That's Jason Eagle. He's got a bit of time to gather. Slaps it on his left boot. Goes down towards Daniel Hu, who's in a great position. It's gone over his head. It's bounced on the ground and he's been thrown into the turf by the Orroroo defender, but the umpire didn't see it that way. Good piece of work by Luke Bowman, who's kicked the ball out. You would say that would be deliberate in an AFL game, but it doesn't apply here. And it's on the half-forward line for Crystal Brook. Good defensive work when it looked quite promising there for Crystal Brook. They outnumbered the Orroroo defenders and lucky to get away with it, I think, Matt Ganley.
Very much so. The ball just managed to find its way over the hill, so to speak, as the ball is tossed in. Heavy contact from both players there.
You've used the shark fin and the over the hill.
Still got a couple more I'm going to squeeze in. I'm going to lever into this call at some point. So the ball is picked up, hack forward now to the left wing. Luke Slattery, lovely work. He was on moat and he had a reach advantage, used the body beautifully and into oncoming traffic. Still held his head high. Of course, plenty of experience, Port Adelaide experience, also had stints, won a premiership at Hamley Bridge, played at Torrens Valley, big leap there. And when he's come down, he's copped an accidental boot, and very much an accidental boot there from Bowman, but that magnificent mark there taken by the medalist in Campbell Coombe.
Plays on straight away and goes onto his left, as he always does. Kicks it about 30 metres out, looking for a mark by the Crystal Brook forward line. It ends up in his hands of his brother in Will Coombe. He slaps it on his left. It ends up in the hands of Jason Eagle. Fortuitously bounces up in his lap and he kicks it from 2 metres out from goal. Another goal to Crystal Brook that takes their score to 6 goals to 38. It's a 23-point margin now in favour of Crystal Brook. Late into this second term. How many minutes have gone in the second term, Matt Ganley?
We're about 15 minutes in now, so Crystal Brook now starting to flex their muscles. They're certainly playing very well. They're getting their two dominant forwards in Hill and Eagle now got 2 each, and the big man, he moves very well. Jason Eagle, he is enormous. Both Eagle, Brad Eagle and Jason Eagle bookend this Crystal Brook side. And I'll tell you what, you wouldn't want to have been doing the shopping for them, old Mrs. Eagle, back in the day. So
he didn't need to soar with that one. It just dribbled into his lap there,
exactly,
Matt.
yeah.
That's the best I can do with the joke with Eagle's surname. But anyway, it ends up in the hands of Hughes. He handballs forward as much as he can. They need to get the ball forward as quickly as they can. Good defensive work by Crystal Brook to grab the ball on the half-forward line of Orroroo's. Tackled straight away, and the umpire will come in to throw it up again. I don't know whether you're counting how many throw-ups there are, Peter, but there's been a fair few halfway through this second term. Still on the half-forward line for Orroroo. Ends up in the hands of Reid. Reid gets it to Lee. Lee just whacks it on his left boot and kicks it down as far as he can. A mark spilled by Seymour, the defender there. Orroroo should have the numbers there. Good piece of work there. Snap on the left boot by Jake Fowlis. It's the left-hand side of the goalpost, minus score only.
He'll be disappointed with that, Jake. He had perhaps a little bit more time than what he thought, but the pressure of a grand final. It's a huge crowd. They're all starting to mill around now.
Just very quickly, Matt, quarter-time score in the netball for those people that are wondering. Orroroo 10 leads Southern Flinders 9. So we've got a classic game of netball in the big shed here at Jamestown. Good piece of work out on the far side forward flank for Orroroo defensively by Crystal Brook. Not sure who that player is over there who's grabbed the ball. He was tackled straight away, and once again, believe it or not, the umpire comes in and throws it up again.
Quarter time in the A-grade netball in here. Orroroo 10, Southern Flinders 9.
Did you hear me say that about 30 seconds ago, Matt? Or?
No.
No, okay. So our listeners just got that twice within 30 seconds.
Score's still the same.
I think we can
No
confirm
score.
that score.
So we can confirm it's 10-9 Orroroo's way. Anyway, it comes back to the football. Good piece of work by Weckett to handball it over the top, but it's been cut off by Hughes, who's landed it straight in the middle of his back, but the umpire didn't see it that way. It's smack bang in the centre of the ground. Orroroo need to get the ball and bird it long. They need to get it in the forward line quickly. Crystal Brook been very good defensively. Ball gets thrown up in the centre of the ground. Good ruck work by Palmer. Palmer taps it down to Capitola. Capitola handballs it out towards Weckett, who gets on the boot straight away. Ends up in the hands of Will Coombe. Loose player there on the half-forward line is Lambert. Lambert gets it to another player there, 35 metres out. Shot the goal and Hill's there. It looks like it's hit the post though. Good piece of work there over there. I think that was Richmond that had the ball going in towards the goals. Hill couldn't get a clunk on it. And a minor score prevails. Good piece of work playing on straight away is Hughes, who takes the mark from the kick in from full back. Goes inboard, looking
Lovely
for a
kick.
centre player there in Bennett. Bennett handballs and plays on straight away to Tom Moten. Tom Moten down to the half forward line. Good piece of work there by From. Hompsch is also there as well. It's 2-on-2. Ball hits the ground. Good piece of work. There could be a holding a ball decision here. That's a great tackle by the Orroroo forward line player to keep the ball inboard. 40 metres out from their goal. I'll tell you what, I reckon Richards might have been lucky not to get done for holding the ball there.
I think so.
He had the ball, had a chance to handball, and was tackled straight away. Umpire didn't see it that way.
Just burning the ball a little bit going forward here, Orroroo, as Crystal Brook put the screws on, put plenty of pressure on. Handball comes out now towards Weckett from Slattery. He goes up towards the wing. Come crashing in there was Jonathan Biley. Gets the handball across. Now it comes back towards the player there in Hughes. Good strong work. There's a free kick being paid up there. Now I'm not sure. It's gone to Aidan Lee. Not sure what that is. He's on the wing. Chips the ball back inside this way. He's found Ben Reid. Because Ben's got three of his cousins out there today. Chips the ball across to Billy Tapscott. Again, another name that may be familiar.
Tapscott slipped over as he was about to kick the ball and
didn't actually move forward.
No, Luke Capitola thought it might have been playing on, but he was wrong. Great pass. That's a lovely
Beautiful
pass
skills
by Tapscott. Tapscott finds the leading player in his skipper in Tom Reid, who kicks the ball down looking for Hompsch. And why wouldn't you? He's been busy down there. It's been tapped away from him. Once again, it ends up in the hands of the player there in Duffy, who taps it towards Hompsch. Hompsch taps it toward the boundary line, and it will do exactly that. It'll go over the boundary line and we'll have a throw-in.
They've got to try and get it a little bit more out in front of their forwards there. They're sitting it on their head, making it a bit easy for Crystal Brook to defend. Aidan Lee tries to knock it back into a dangerous position. Flying through there is Hughes. He's made his way through the pack, but towards the boundary line. Goes up looking for Redden. Has he managed to keep it in? Yes, he has. So Dennis Redden had a shot not too long ago. He'll have another one now as he now makes his way forward. He's looking for a pass, but they're deciding. No, he's deciding now that he will actually take the shot. So he's gone for the check side there with the left boot. Oh, it's gone way over the other side. No, we're going to call it a pass. So as the ball's gone all the way over to the far side.
That was a boomerang or a banana that did not bend, and it ended up fortuitously on the chest of an Orroroo player over the exact opposite side. Exactly the same position, but on the other side of the oval.
And he's trying to check
the same thing. And I tell you what, that's a lovely looking kick. Oh, it's a minor score. Not sure who that player was over there. We were too busy laughing at the kick beforehand. I'm pretty sure it was Will Bennett that had that kick.
He got a little bit closer than Dennis Redden did, that's for sure. So.
Very close. Good piece of work there, and the ball is now cleared. It ends up in the hands of the Crystal Brook defender on the half back line. Luke Slattery, the coach, marshals his troops. He says, rightio, well, I don't want you to go over there. I want you to lead over this way. He's taking his time. He's still on the half back line, and he doesn't really go to a lead at all. He just kicked it up high and hoping for the best. It's ended up in the hands of the Orroroo player in Hughes. Hughes, after a chain of handballs, kicks down towards the forward line. Great piece of work, body work there by the player there in From. It's ended up in the hands of Hompsch. Hompsch, he does a shimmy, he snaps, and he has scored a goal. It's through.
He likes it.
It was very close by the look at the goal umpire. He snuck over to the right-hand side guy post. Great work by Hompsch. Great work by the player there also in Dennis Redden to tap it out towards Hompsch. A massive goal for Orroroo, and the wind has died down slightly. The sun is shining, and the conditions are certainly a little bit better than what they have been.
Certainly a lot better, and that's certainly what the game needed here, as the score now 6 goals 3 to 3 goals 4 in favour of Crystal Brook. 5, we're saying from 3 goals 5. They're now changing it around, I feel. They're spending most of their time in front of the digits. So
just very quickly, half-time score, BSR 4 goals 3, lead Snowtown 3 goals 2. So a 7-point margin in favour of BSR in the Northeastern Grand Final being played at Clare. Coombe ends up handing the handball and the ball to Holm. She should have been known for holding the ball, as you can tell by the crowd behind us, and the umpire has seen it that way. Good piece of work by Orroroo, kicking down towards the half-forward line, looking for the big ruckman in Aidan Lee. He spills the chest mark, but it's ended up in the hands of the skipper in Reid. Reid going down towards the forward line. Good piece of work by Orroroo. Again, they're outnumbering the Crystal Brook defenders 3-2 there, but they've called in the cavalry. Good piece of work by the coach in Luke Slattery, who gets the ball and mops it up and takes a little bit of time to compose the Crystal Brook back line. 30 metres out from the Orroroo goal.
And he's gone back there towards Seymour. They're just missing those targets, going inside 50 there. The ball is kicked across now to Luke Capitola, another one of the male medalists, and has actually been runner-up 4 times. Fabulous player over a very long period of time. He now goes up towards the left half-back flank where it stacks on the mill.
3-quarter time in York Peninsula Football League. Moonta, 9 goals 6, lead... It's got here leads Wallaroo 4 goals 3, but that should be Cougars. So Moonta 9 goals 6 lead, Cougars 4 goals 3 as the ball's over on the far side wing. Good piece of work there by the player for Orroroo in Bowman, who did a bit of a ricochet rabbit. Someone socked the ball, he was in the way, and it bounced off his knee, went to the ground, and there's stacks on the mill once again. 4 or 5 players jump on top of it, and we'll have a throw.
United Yolanda are 40 points over Tumby Bay at half-time in the grand final of the Great Flinders. Tossed up. Lee now again taps the ball down, gets the ball towards Ben Reid. He tries to make his way forward. They're just trying to edge the ball forward. Now they've got it out. Comes towards Fowlis. He handballs the ball. Now they're going back forward towards Redden. Can he get in front? No, good work there. Good defensive spoil there from Brad Eagle. Double-fisted towards the boundary line. Luke Slattery might get a free kick here. Play on, calls the umpire. He's thrown himself into defence here, Slattery. Now it comes out towards the triple medalist there in Campbell Coombe. Punches the ball up. Beautiful skills up to the man there in Joel Millard. Now they're starting to get the ball moving quite quickly. Comes up towards the big man in Eagle, as Eagle takes the ball out left half forward flank.
Just confirming, Moonta 33-point lead at 3-quarter time against the Cougars. 9 goals 6 to 4 goals 3. 33-point margin, 3-quarter time. York Peninsula Grand Final. The ball gets thrown in. Once again, it hits the ground. Good piece of work of roving by Campbell Coombe, who's had a lot of it already. Good piece of defensive work by Hughes to grab the ball. He handballs over the top. It's going to be cleared from half-back, hopefully, as far as Orroroo is concerned, but good defensive pressure by Crystal Brook forward line players to keep it in. Millard's one of the tacklers, as is Richmond. Player from Orroroo can't get away, and the umpire will throw it in 70 metres out from the Crystal Brook goal. Fowlis taps the ball down, no real clear advantage, ends up in the hands there of the Crystal Brook player, goes down towards the 40-metre arc, or 50-metre arc I should say, for the Crystal Brook forward line. Good piece of work there, once again defensively, by the Orroroo defenders, tackling the Crystal Brook player over the line. And we'll have a throw in 35 metres around from the left-hand side point post.
Very close to siren time. It's been a great quarter here for Crystal Brook as they go into the breeze. Dan Hill's there. He gets it down to Wilcombe. He makes his way forward. The ball just goes underneath there, the player there in Catford. And fortuitously goes through. Very close to the line.
I tell you what, you were talking about the size of the Eagle boys. Jason Eagle is very mobile for a big man, isn't he? Very quick. Big kick by the Orroroo defender. No free kick given, or yes, it has been given.
It's playing advantage.
It might not be an advantage though. Good piece of work by Orroroo. It's on the half forward. It's a very bad handball. No real advantage there for Orroroo, but it's still on their half forward line. A bit of a soccer. Ash McKay's given a free kick away, and it's in the hands of the Crystal Brook player in Seymour. Seymour plays on, looks for Capitola. Capitola fakes to handball, then he decides he will handball. Ends up in the hands of Jack Arbin. Jack Arbin plays on, lovely kick over to Lambert. Half forward line for Crystal Brook. The defender falls over in Bennett, so Lambert decides to run around him and play on, goes down towards the goal looking for Hill. Good piece of contest work down there by all players. Eagle ends up with their handballs out to Coombe. Coombe snaps on the left, and it's a goal. I'm going to say it's Coombe, but once again, I'm not sure whether it is Coombe. We will get a bit of a look there.
The big man came flying out there, Eagle. He had 2 or 3 hanging off him, and was able to handball the ball forward where it was scooped up. We will get it there. It is actually the player there in Richmond that's kicked the goal, and
congestion of players. Very good contested ball there, and it squirted out, Matt.
Yeah, exactly right. They're conscious of the 2 big men, and they had too many going up there. And when the ball came down, it was Crystal Brook. They had the ones on the ground. Tap out comes down now, comes through Reed, and that is Tom. He goes towards centre half forward now. The handball comes off towards Moten. Excellent spoil there. Gee whiz, Capitola does a lot of work around the ground. He comes out now towards Joey Slattery. He punches it away from Ryan Finn. And that is half-time here. As Crystal Brook, really, they had a sensational quarter there. They kicked 5 goals, 2 in that quarter to take their score to 7-4 to Orroroo, which is 3-4-22.
All players now in position. The siren's about to go as the umpire raises the ball skyward, and we're about to start this 3rd term of the Northern Area's Grand Final. Orroroo once again, Lee taps the ball down, but it ends up in the hands of Will Coombe. Coombe onto Capitola. That's the Luke variety. Kicks down towards the half-forward line for Crystal Brook. Bouncing ball ends up in the hands. I'll tell you what, Daniel Hill picked that up like a 3'2" rover. He's picked it up, but he's knocked out of the hands, and it's forced to ground as Nathan Lambert grabs the ball off the ground. He's tackled by 3 Orroroo players. He's got his head ploughed into the ground. He hands the ball to the umpire, and the umpire will throw it skyward.
Yeah, beautiful pick up there from Dan Hill. It is. He might even have a free kick here. Has he been tossed out of the road? Yes, he has. He's been tossed out of the road in the ruck ball up. So he will have a shot. He'll be a fair way out. He'll be at least kicking from. He'll be kicking from probably 50. But with that breeze behind him, he's already had. A couple of goals, one in the first, one in the second. This will be the perfect start. Exactly what Crystal Brook would have been looking for, and exactly what Orroroo did not want. As he makes his way forward, he is usually a beautiful kick of the ball. He's made a terrible contest. The commentator's curse there. I've slapped it right on him.
It's an awful kick. It was a Steve Kernahan helicopter kick, and it's dropped about 30 metres short. Anyway, the ball comes out on the half-back line for Orroroo. Brody O'Day handballed it, but didn't really go to anyone's advantage. Ends up in the hands still of Crystal Brook, and it's going to be cleared from the half-back line by Moten. Kicks it over the top of Hobbs. Bowman is there, along with Richards, and the ball's been forced out of bounds over on the far side near the makeshift bar, which has been very well attended by 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 guys.
And why not?
Yeah.
They won't need any echo holders today. They'll put it back in the ice to keep it cool. As the handball comes out now back towards Hughes. He now gets it back towards the player there in John Nicholas. He's gone defensive. They're going backwards to hopefully go forwards. Oh, heavy contact, high contact, is it? No, Beetle Murdoch's not having any of that as the player there in Tommy Reid slipped over as he went towards the Crystal Brook player, so it probably is fair.
In the true centre of the ground, once again a bit of a soccer, but it's ended up being a ricochet like a pinball wizard. Ends up in the hands of Campbell Coombe. Campbell Coombe goes backwards to Luke Slattery. Slattery over to Will Coombe. Will Coombe's been pushed in the back after he's kicked it, and the umpire has seen it that way. As Nathan Lambert ends up with the ball on the half-forward line. He chips towards his skipper in Luke Capitola. Capitola looks towards Eagle. Eagle on the lead. Good piece of defensive work there by the Orroroo defender. Ball hits the ground. Players jump on top of it. Good defensive work there by Andrew Catford. And the ball will get thrown up 15 metres out from the Crystal Brook goal.
I'm not sure exactly what the matchup's there. They've got Catford now going with Hill, and I think Ellery then Catford going with Eagle. And as the ball is snapped around from that ball up from Richmond, Ellery has gone to Hill, so Eagle with Catford. So that's the matchups there. They both got their hands full. A couple of key forwards.
Skipper and Tom Reid is waiting for the ball to come back from out of the car park. He gets the ball and he's going to be kicking it in. Minus score to Crystal Brook. The scoreboard attendants haven't come back from their pie and chips, I don't think, because the scoreboard hasn't changed. But the margin is 24 points here at the Jamestown Oval as the Orroroo skipper in Reid kicks the ball out. Lovely kick, finding the player there for Orroroo. Aidan Lee, half-back line, looks at his options. Awkward-looking kicking style for a left-legger. Kicks down towards... Oh, a big fly about 15 minutes too early by the player there in Damien Ellery, I think that was. Free kick's going to be found to one of the Crystal Brook players for a... It really wasn't a realistic fly for the ball, to be honest. He went about 15 minutes too early, but it's ended up in the hands of Coombe. Goes down towards Eagle. Eagle knocks at the ground, is where the players end up. Ball on top of the players on top of the ball, I should say, and it's smack bang in front of the Crystal Brook goals, 15 metres.
Great
out.
experience there from Crystal Brook. They've hit that second goal square, that 15 metres out. It's picked up now. Hill handballs the ball across. They're trying to get a free player. Hopefully that isn't. No, good umpiring there. Sometimes. Oh no, he has called a free, has he?
No, he's just talking to the players. He's going to throw it up.
No, he's not.
You sure?
Well, if he is, Coombe better give the ball back because he's walked. That's as in Campbell.
He actually ducked, and he's been awarded a free kick for high contact, and he actually ducked into that.
That was
tackle.
a tough one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was tough.
Coombe won't miss this one.
And once again, it's a goal to Campbell Coombe. He's been very dominant, Coombe, male medalist. Once again in 2018, and very fortuitous that free kick. Very unlucky the Orroroo defenders, but I suppose it was head-high contact, but the fact that Coombe ducked his head is probably, not sure.
Look, it's one of those ones. It wasn't it wasn't a swing arm, but I think having said all of that, I think the umpiring has been excellent so far.
Yes.
That's probably about the first one that we've picked them up on. So as Crystal Brook now go out to 8 goals, 452, Orroroo 3-5, 23. Peter.
Free kick count, Matt. Orroroo 9, Crystal Brook 7.
They certainly haven't been overly blowing it too much, have they? They haven't been over exuberant with the whistle, which is good. So
ball makes its way back to the centre, and the umpire throws it up. Once again, it's Palmer versus Lee. No real advantage there, but it's going to end up in the player's hands of Moten. He fumbled. Players jump on top of him. In fact, Darren Hughes ends up with the ball, and players end up on top of him. And there'll be another throw up. Still in the centre of the ground. Aidan Lee once again a good tap. Ends up in the hands of Nicholas. Nicholas to Hughes. Hughes to Moten. Ends up back in the hands of Hughes, who's tackled straight away. He's been chicken winged. No chance of handballing that away. Tackled straight away, and there's a bit of argy-bargy. Bit of push and shove involving Moten and Capitola. I think Moten might have the job on trying to curb Capitola's influence in the game. Ball once again still in the centre of the ground. We'll have another throw. Very quickly, it's half-time over on Kangaroo Island. Western Districts 3 goals 3, lead Kingscote 1 goal 6.
Ball is now gone forward. Out comes through there is the player in Lee. Now heavy tackle laid on there by the player in Dylan Fowlis.
Player being Bowman that came through there. No,
Bowman, was it? My apologies.
He was trying to line someone up, but he missed. But anyway, it's now Lee who taps the ball down. Once again, it doesn't really go to anyone's advantage. He has to go down and rove it himself. Good piece of work by Aidan Lee again. Geez, a good player. Gets the ball after tapping it down to no one in particular. Does a bit of roving himself and gets up, hands it back to the umpire, and he tries to win another tap, and he does. Taps it down once again, no real advantage. Ends up in the hands of Nicholas, but it pops out. Once again, we're going to have another throw-up. Still basically in the centre of the ground. No real clear advantage to either side.
Certainly does look like Tom Moten is trying to get a bit of work in there to Capitola, but now the ball comes out as the player makes his way forward, and that is the coach there in Luke Slattery. He punches the ball forward. He's looking for the big man down there in Eagle. It comes down. It's picked up by Richmond. He hooks the ball back. And, it was just overrun there by Damien Ellery. Now he comes back inside, tries to chip the ball over. Does so successfully. Finds Ben Reid. He streams along, punches the ball towards the wing. Good strong work there by the player, I think, in Klingner. He goes over the top and gets it towards. It was intercepted by Ryan Finn. He's tackled hard. There's players coming from everywhere. Play on calls the umpire. He's let it go on a fair way there, and they've managed to get it out once more. However, it now has gone out of bounds on the far left wing for Orroroo.
Just a great piece of work by Jason Eagle. Every time he's not in a good position to take a mark, he's always tapping it forward. He knows where the Rovers are going to be, and he knows where he needs to put the ball. Very disciplined effort by Eagle down there in the forward line. Ends up in the forward line of Orroroo now. Good defensive work by Seymour. Seymour takes a defensive mark. It's on the opposition's 50-metre forward line arc. Good work by Seymour, who plays on straight away and goes straight over towards Aidan Lee, who takes a great mark for Orroroo. and will pound this ball back in to the forward line. No, he won't. He plays on straight away. He gets himself in trouble with a couple of handballs, but he ends up with it again. He does pound it back into the 50-metre arc this time. Goes up towards the player there in Bowman, who tries to make a contest. The ball's ended up on the ground. Ends up in the hands of Bennett. Bennett to Bowman with a handball. Bowman, handball's over the top. Here's a chance for the Roos. A snap-on goal. It's bounced to the right-hand side of the goalpost. Minor score prevails. 28 points the margin now in favour of Chris Brook. Chris Brook, 8 goals, 4-52. To Orroroo, 3 goals, 6-24. Fullback plays on straight away. Sorry, Matt, way you go.
Kicks it across now, comes towards Joe Slattery. He makes his way up and finds Nathan Lambert, left half-back flank. They're moving the ball quite well now. Christopher Brook coming up towards the wing. Big, heavy contest comes in there from Reid. Goes over the back. It's picked up there by Orroroo's Ryan Finn. Makes its way, but he stumbled. Now comes through Eagle. They're going to have 3 players on the outside now as Matty Weckett comes forward. He now falls over and manages to make his way forward. Goes towards goal, goes towards Hill. Over the back, he gets to the ball on the bounce. Gee, he's got good hands for a big man. Comes inside, comes across now to the player in Richmond. He goes across, and it goes to Joe Slattery, who runs into the open goal and has slammed that one through. As Christa Brook now start to widen this gap, really are starting to put the pedal to the metal, as they say. And that's the 9th goal now for Christa Brook. 9-4. 58 that will go to Orroroo. 3-4-24. Orroroo desperately trying to hang on. They still haven't given up, and they're still contesting as hard as they can. Just the Christa Brook class starting to show through. Chook.
Good run by Joe Slattery. He was roaming around there with about 15 metres to spare, a bit like an unregistered dog. But I can tell you, as far as the netball in the Northeastern Netball League, that BSR has won their first premiership for a very long time, you would think. With a very convincing win of 67-40 was the A1's win by BSR. So a 27-goal win in the A1's netball to BSR. And
Orroroo up by 3 points at three-quarter time.
That'd be goals, I would think.
Yeah, 3 goals again. So my apologies.
You're going to be in trouble with your wife if you keep on saying it points.
I'll be in trouble with my mum.
Aiden Lee, good tap down towards the player there. Fowler sends up with it for Orroroo. It's in the centre of the ground. No advantage to either team at the moment. Once again, I don't know how many bowl-ups there's been in the field of play, Peter Richards, but gee, there's been a lot of throw-up by the umpires today.
Yep, and almost every one is followed by a tackle.
Yes. Good piece of work by Aiden Lee. Ends up in the hands of Hughes. Hughes is tackled straight away, and you've guessed it, Matt Ganley. It's another throw-up. Once again, smack bang in the middle of the ground. No advantage either side. At
least they're not too far away from us here, Chook. We do get a reasonable side at it. No clear disposal. Comes out now towards Joe Slattery. Chips the ball over. He's looking for Coombe. And that one is of the Will variety. He now punches the ball forward. The ball goes over the back there. Running onto it is Joel Millard. Can he come through? Oh, there's some heavy traffic coming the other way. Handball comes out now towards that player in Jackson Richmond. He comes back inside. Heavy tackle laid on. Can he give it back to him? He does. Towards Richmond. It's pulled in now from Orroroo. That's dangerous as he pulls it in. Left forward pocket now. Orroroo really are struggling to repel these multiple attacks by the Christa Brook outfit.
Plenty of action down there in the forward line. 25-30 metres out from the Christa Brook goal. Once again, the ball gets thrown up. Good piece of work by Ellery to tap it down, but no clear advantage. Tackled straight away, and the umpire throws up again. Still 30 metres out from the Christa Brook goal. That time, Ellery versus Hill in the ruck. Once again, it gets tapped down. Tackled straight away. The umpire will come in and throw it up again. 30 metres out from the Christa Brook goal. A couple of players go lose their balance and fall over, but it's ended up once again. Looks like the umpire's going to do exactly the same thing in the same area, or was that a throw? He's found a free. Very congested down there, so I'm not actually sure who the player was from Orroroo that was deemed to be throwing the ball, but it's ended up in the hands of a Christa Brook player who's going to be having a shot. That player being Nathan Lambert, 45-degree angle, only kicking from 30 metres. Distance obviously won't be a problem. 45-degree angle, very deliberate in his approach. He usually plays in the back lines. And he's kicked the ball straight into the right-hand side goalpost for a minor score. That takes the score to 9 goals, 5-59. A 35-point margin in favour of Christa Brook. Orroroo, 3 goals, 6-24, deep into the third quarter.
Oh, nearly a turnover there as it comes off hands, partly smothered now. It comes over the top. Nice easy mark there taken by Sean Capitola. He makes his way forward, gets it into a dangerous spot. as the big man there, Lee, who is playing an outstanding game for Orroroo. He then switches the ball, punches it to the other side. Through comes Dylan Fowlis. He takes the mark, now makes his way up towards Homsch. Homsch gets hands to it, but is unable to hold on to it. It's punched away from him there by the centre half back there for Crystal Brook, the mobile Shane Richards. They're both very agile, these two players around half forward, half back, Shane Richards and the player from Orroroo in Homsch. Now the ball comes out once more, and that's a lovely tackle laid on by Coombe. Campbell Coombe, he now punches the ball forward. He's looking out to space, but it's Orroroo that make the way forward. Lovely tackle laid on there by Nathan Lambert. But he's held on a little bit too long, I feel, and the umpire beat him.
He handballed it out. Oh, he's done a little chip and he's kicked it. Oh, I was going to say, he's kicked it out of bounds, the little chip from 15 metres, almost out of bounds in the fall, but it has been marked on the boundary line. The ball goes down towards, in front of us here in centre wing. Good contested spoil there by Luke Slattery. Good piece of work by the Orroroo defender to kick it down towards Homsch. Homsch, a lovely pick-up. He spins around on his right. Does the hook kick around, looking for the player down there, but it's ended up in the hands of the Crystal Brook Eagle, as in Brad, down the last line of defence. He kicks on straight away, looking for Jack Arbin. Jack Arbin plays on straight away. Too easy clearing it out. Ends up in the hands of the skipper and Luke Capitola. He's on the half-back line for Crystal Brook, looking for his options.
Capitola nearly goes back to exactly the same point from whence it came. Luke Seymour. Left back pocket as they start to slow the game down here a little bit. Luke Slattery, the coach, he then chips it across. We're only 15 minutes in, so they're just looking for an easy way out now through Brad Eagle. Makes his way over to the far side. It's come off hands there from the player. I think that was Klingner.
No, Jack Arbin.
Jack Arbin, my apologies. Now the ball comes inside. Orroroo are trying to get the ball forward, trying to find it. Unfortunately for them, Campbell Coon comes through. He's stripped of it as the cavalry arrive, and there will be a ball up.
Final score in York Peninsula Football Grand Final. Moonta, 15 goals, 12, 102, have defeated the Cougars, 4 goals, 428. So that's a 74-point margin in favour of Moonta. 2 Wells,
8-9 lead Balaclava 4-7 in the Adelaide Plains.
Ball ends up in the hands of Weckett. Weckett touches the ball on the ground because he's frightened he's going to slide off this wet surface. He handballs over the top. Good piece of work there for Richmond. Richmond going to have a boot from 50 metres. I'll tell you what, I reckon he's got the distance. Has he got the accuracy? No, he hasn't. He's kicked it to the right-hand side of the goalpost. Minor score, takes the score to 9 goals, 559, 35-point margin, which I think is what I said before, so I'm not sure whether the scoreboard's right. To Orroroo, 3 goals, 624. Late in the third quarter here at the Jamestown Oval.
17-minute mark. We still have a bit to go in this quarter. Ball is punched out over towards the far left half-back flank. Comes off hands there of Declan Duffy. Now it comes back inside. A lovely mark is taken there by Orroroo. Swung back around to Ben Reid. Ben Reid gets hold of the ball. They're trying to play on. They're trying to get something happening. He then comes across to Aidan Lee. Aidan Lee gets the ball across. He's put him under immense pressure there. That's a lovely tackle there from the coach in Luke Slattery. Richmond also now lays a heavy tackle on the player there in Isaac Chapman. And great forward pressure there from Crystal Brook is able to hold that ball in.
Peter, I think that handball from Aidan Lee to Catford is what you call a hospital handball. Is that a fair call?
I'm glad I wasn't underneath it.
Ball ends up in the hands of Chapman, who's pushed in the back for the umpire. Yes, the umpire has seen it that way. And Isaac Chapman will take a kick on the half-back line for Orroroo. The push was in the back, smack bang in the middle of the back by Campbell Coombe. Given the free kick to Isaac Chapman.
Isaac will make his way up here towards the wing. It's an ugly helicopter punt out in front of Bowman. It's punched away from him. Goes out now on the right half-back flank for Orroroo. We're in front of the canteen for those that know the oval here. The ball is tossed in. Canteen always gets a mention.
You know where the canteen is.
Right, exactly right. Now Orroroo string a couple of handballs together, make their way up towards the wing. Dennis Redden coming out. He's trying to get the handball across, does so towards Hughes. He's under heavy pressure, goes back towards Redden. They can't get any clear possession. Comes out through Luke Slattery, gets it across to Seymour, punches the ball forward. Lovely mark there, taken again by that man in Aidan Lee.
I tell you what, Aidan Lee has been playing very well for Orroroo. They trail by 34 points or 35 points, and it's no fault of Aidan Lee. He's been absolutely outstanding for Orroroo's side today. Free kick's been given a late spoil on Luke Bowman as he was going for the mark. And he'll take the ball. He's basically smack bang in the centre of the centre wing. he raises his hands up to say, I've got no real option, so I'm just going to boot it in long, which is exactly what he does. He does a helicopter kick, and it's ended up in the hands of From. From has the ball, goes around onto his left, looking for Homps. That's a great lead, and it's a great kick. Gee, I tell you what, that's brilliant football by Orroroo. From wheeled it around on his left, Dennis Redden goes around on his left leg. Beautiful lead by the player there in Homps. And fantastic mark.
And for those people listening from out of town, so that was Bowman to Redden to Homps. Yes. So a few names he will recognise. Of course, Redden is the son of Mick Homps, and Bowman is the son of Lockie Bowman, and Homps now is brother to Port Adelaide's Homps as he makes his way forward, and he pushes that ball into the wind, but unfortunately it tails off to the left and has gone through for a behind as we just approach the 20-minute mark. 9-4 now, Crystal Brook to Orroroo. 3 goals as they're putting it up as we speak. We will come back. Seymour kicks to Slattery. Slattery goes down towards the wing. The ball ends up in the hands of the Orroroo players there. I think that's Finn over there. It's been blocked by one of the Orroroo players, so I can't actually see, but it's now in the hands of the player there in Capitola, who handballs backwards to go forwards, and the ball has been kicked out of bounds in the full by the player there, and we'll have a kick in over on the far side. Orroroo 70 metres out from their goal.
I actually make it 9-7 for Crystal Brook.
9-7 for Crystal Brook, so the scoreboard attendance is only 3 points out. So we'll fix that very shortly for you, ladies and gentlemen. Ends up in the centre of the ground with Fowlis. Fowlis, as in Dylan, kicks nice little short pass to Bowman. Luke Bowman, left legger, once again looks for options, decides to go long again. Into the breeze, looks for his roving and his leading ruckman in Nathan Lee. He's beaten to the ball by Eagle, who kicks to Eagle. Eagle to Eagle. Smack bang in front of it.
Hello, he's throwing one.
There's a couple of there's 2 punches thrown by Catford. I don't know whether any of them connected, but the umpires are sort of looking the other way because I don't think they want to go to a tribunal.
I think it was Golden Gloves. He would have got a
Catford's, I don't know whether even if he did connect those punches, they would have hurt too much. But anyway, good kick by Eagle. Goes down. There's a bit of a to-do going on here with Isaac Arbin from Crystal Brook and an Orroroo player. They're trying to ruffle up the situation. The ball is down on the half-forward line for Crystal Brook, and the umpire will come in and throw it up after Nathan Lee.
If I was going to throw a punch at Brad Eagle, I wouldn't do it with his brother Jason next to him, because I think they are big boys, and the Eagle boys might have actually been named after them, I think so. As the ball now goes back towards the middle, Klingner picks it up, handballs the ball back in towards that player there in Capitoli, set upon by multiple tacklers, one of them being Moten, the other one being Hughes. Umpire says he will come in and ball it up once more.
Are you getting the feeling that Orroroo are trying to roughen up the situation a bit? It's in the centre of the ground. Good piece of work by Palmer, who did a bit of roving of his own ruck work, and he does it again. Good handball backwards, looking for Luke Seymour. Seymour tries to direct traffic. He goes down towards the half-forward line. It's a lovely kick, finds Richmond. That's a lovely kick and a lovely mark. Richmond plays on straight away, goes down towards the forward line, but it's been cut off by the player there in Biley. Biley goes out towards the half-back line. Good defensive work by Orroroo. But I tell you what, that's a bad kick, and it's ended up in the hands of the male medalist in Campbell Coombe, who plays on straight away on his left foot, looking for... Oh, that is a great grab. He's put his hands up late, Daniel Hill. That's a lovely lead, lovely mark, lovely kick by Campbell Coombe, and it'll be a shot for goal 45 to 50 metres out, smack bang in front with the aid of a breeze.
Oh, look, turnovers costing him there, Pete. You certainly don't want to give the ball to Campbell Coombe as Big Hilly. I won't mention his kicking this time and see if that works any better for him, because I did put the Moz on him last time. And once again, he has pulled it towards the left. He's a lovely striker of the ball.
Minor score to Crystal Brook. We'll get a score update shortly once we wake up the scoreboard attendance here. But Pete Richards might give this score in a minute. But I will tell you that 3/4 time, BSR 5-6. That's a 7-point game. BSR 5-6 lead Blythe Snowtown 4-5. That is 3/4 time score in the North Eastern Football League. Claire.
I make it 9-8 to 3-7.
As in the netball now, Orroroo opening up a bit of a lead over Southern Flinders, 41 to 34. Ball is now kicked along there from Moten. Goes up the wing. He's unable to keep the ball in. He went towards towards the player there in Ellery, and the ball will be tossed in. We're on the right half forward flank now for Crystal Brook. Good work there. Hill takes the ruck work in the forward line. Taps it down Capitola. Capitola's gone very, very high. Big fly up there from Joe Slattery. He's unable to keep the ball in. However, he wasn't outmarked, and the ball will be thrown in once more.
We've got a couple of listeners that are having a couple of beers listening to us, Matt, and the reason why they're listening to us and having a couple of beers is because Wazza, his lawnmower's broken down, so he's decided I'll listen to the footy and have a couple of beers. So good afternoon to Wazza as the ball's on the half-forward line, and once again the umpire throws the ball up. Good piece of ruck work by Daniel Hill, but it's ended up in the hands of Reid. Reid for Orroroo kicks the ball down towards the wing. And as you can hear in the background, that is the three-quarter time score. And that takes the score, Peter Richards. Can you give us a score update? Because I reckon you're going to be more accurate than what the scoreboard is at the moment.
Well, I believe Crystal Brook kicked 2 goals for that quarter to make it 9 goals 8 for the game. And Orroroo kicked 2 points to make it 3-7. So 9-8 to 3-7.
9-8 to 3-7. Thank you very much. So the last quarter of the Northern Area's grand final ends up doing a couple of falcons and a couple of blows. It's a bit of a soccer situation with a couple of headers there. Campbell Coombe ends up with the ball. Isaac Chapman tackles him straight away, and Will Coombe decides he didn't like what was going on, so he'd come in throwing a few elbows. It's ended up, the umpire throwing the ball up, it's ended up in the hands of Kupch for Crystal Brook, who's tackled straight away, thrown to the ground, and the umpire will come in again. Bit of argy-bargy happening, as you'd expect. Orroroo throwing their weight around, and Crystal Brook making sure that they don't take any of it. Chapman had the ball, he got rid of it and then was tackled. The umpire said that there's too long that he had it tackled. Played advantage. It's been spoiled away from Tom Reid. Crystal Brook's going to clear from their defensive line from Eagle. Eagle, handballs to Klingner. Klingner back to Eagle. Eagle over the top looking for Weckett. I think that is over there. Goes over the top, 3 versus 1. Crystal Brook's still going to end up with the ball with that man Campbell Coombe. He handballs forward, looking for the player there, but it ends up bouncing past him. That player, number 35, being Cokes. Awkward bounce, still over there on the wing. Still in the hands of Crystal Brook with Nathan Lambert. Lambert does a bit of a shimmy, handballs. Handball again, ends up in the hands of Palmer. Goes down towards the half-forward line. Joe Slattery's there on his own. If it bounced properly for him, he jumps onto it. He soccers it in favour of himself. He's been dodging with. It's 1-4. He shimmies, he handballs. Goes in towards the player there in Coombe. Coombe on his left, like he always does. Has a shot for goal, and he's got it. Great piece of work.
Gee,
great bit of vision by Joe Slattery. It was 4-on-1. Joe Slattery waited for the right time. Handball to Campbell Coombe. Campbell Coombe on the wrong side for a left legger. Lovely kick. That's class, and that's the reason why he's got 3 male medals.
It is beautiful kick there at goal. Just a lightning one. Yes, Orroroo have won the netball. That's 4 in a row to Orroroo, 44-39. 4 in a row, 6 out of the last 9. They're a very good side. I think they're not going to have dual premierships though. I don't think. Chook has Crystal Brook now. That's a perfect start for them as the ball is tossed up once more. Aidan Lee's been great all day. Gets the tap there again. Going there, down there towards Hughes. He tries to hack the ball out of the air. Crystal Brook player comes through there in Adam Kutch. Handballs back defensively. Unable to find a target. Now the handball comes out from the player there in Will Coombe. Now it goes over the top and finding... with a bit of a turnover there, Andrew Catford goes back towards the middle. He's unable to find a target. Through comes Campbell Coombe once more. Gets it back to his partner in crime. That's Luke Capitola, the skipper. He now punches the ball forward. He's trying to get that ball out in front of Nathan Lambert. Can he get there? He does, but he's tackled to the ground. There will be no free kick. It will be a ball up.
My apologies. That last goal was apparently Will Coombe, not Campbell Coombe. I do apologise. Thank you, Kobe, for sending through that information. And the ball is thrown up half-forward line for Crystal Brook. Both Coombs look very similar, and their numbers look very similar, 28 and 20, but thank you, Kobe, for sending through that information.
Both got long raking left foot, so I'm not sure why left footers only have raking kicks, but now the ball...
Yes. The ball's been thrown up for about the 3 millionth time today, and it's been knocked out of bounds, and the boundary umpire will come in and throw it up.
Ball is tossed in. Another good throw up umpiring's been very good today. Krista Brook keeping the ball alive. Now it's put out there in front of, that's a lovely tackle.
Fowlis.
Holding the ball. Beautiful work there, Dylan Fowlis. He certainly tried hard all day. He now makes his way back towards the wing, and the player there in O'Day, that's the Brody variety. He goes towards centre half forward, but it is all Krista Brook there, and that man Brad Eagle has had a good game. He takes a defensive mark and now chips it out towards the wing.
He's been on his own a lot, Brad Eagle. A lot of defensive marks without any pressure. Good piece of work once again, ends up in the hands of Slattery, as in Luke Slattery. Takes a bounce, goes down towards the half-forward line. It's going to be around that 50-metre arc for Krista Brook. Good piece of work defensively. Ends up in the hands there of the player in Biley. Bit of a handball, bit of a shimmy, and a kick ends up heading out towards Bowman. Bowman decides to go long. It's an ugly-looking kick. Good luck marking that. Ends up near the player in Klingner, who taps it forward. Good piece of work. Good piece of work by Krista Brook defensively. Ends up with Kupsch. Nice pass and ends up with Eagle. Eagle kicks straight away, looking for Koeman, finds him. This time it's Campbell. He plays on and is tackled. Good piece of work defensively by Orroroo. It's in the defensive zone for Orroroo. 4-on-1 in the centre. It's been cleared and it's going to be down towards the half-forward line, but great piece of work by Will Coombe. A one-handed mark, and he's going to clear from half-back for the Krista Brook team.
They are really starting to get on top now. There's a few turnovers. The ball's gone out to the far side. It is picked up and comes inside, finds the player there in Ethan Palmer, the ruckman. He will now punch the ball forward. He's got a couple of key marking forwards. That's the way that he's headed. He's looking there towards Big Hilly. He gets a run at it. He's unable to drag the ball in downhill. Now it comes down. Jackson Richmond, he's been busy across half forward most of the day. He's been very clever to be at the feet of those big men when they're going up. As Campbell Kern gives the ball back to the umpire very politely. That might be the reason why he gets a lot of votes.
Matt's got part of his fan club that wants to say hello, so we'll let him go. But it's ended up in the hands of good piece of work by Eagle. Once again, the free kick's been given though. Eagle must have done a bit of nasty work while going for the mark, and it looks like Tapscott is going to take the free kick, so no goal there to Eagle. Tapscott plays on straight away. Nice little pass out to Bowman. Bowman's 50 metres out from their defensive goal. He plays on. He's out of bounds and he's played on. That's not overly smart, I wouldn't have thought, but anyway, the umpire's given him a second chance and he's going to kick it in. And it's a spilt mark by the player there in Jake Fowlis. The ball spills out. Still on the half-forward line for Krista Brook. Big congestion of players there. Jack Arbin has the ball and is tackled straight away. And it's smack bang in front of us in front of the grandstand here at Jamestown. Jack Arbin gets up, hands the ball to the umpire, and Ash McKay throws it up.
Ball is tossed up. Good punch forward now. Oh, it's overrun there now. Now Krista Brook through Wackett. Punch the ball back towards the big man there in Eagle. Oh, good courage there going back. With the flight of the ball was the player there in Benny Reid. He's done pretty well today. Goes out in front of Dylan Fowlis. He picks it up. They've made the switch to the far side of the ground. He goes up there looking towards Dennis Redden. Ball's punched away from him. Goes back towards Dylan Fowlis, but he's unable to stop it from going out.
Three-quarter time over in Port Lincoln. Tasman's starting to pull away from the Rangers. Opening up a 23-point lead. Ian Lauby's doing a bit of commentary for us while he's sending the text message. Tasman's 6 goals, 3, 63. Lead Marble Range 6 goals, 4, 40. That's three-quarter time in Port Lincoln footy. That's preliminary final. Ball comes in now as Krista Brook attack once more, but Ben Reid once again gets in the road. He certainly had plenty of it. He comes across to Bowman. A bit of the ball in the last quarter and a bit. He picks the ball up now, stabs the ball out. He's got very good skills. Goes out towards Dylan Fowlis. They're just not able to get any real run happening here. As played all right, Fowlis.
Yeah,
Dylan
no,
Fowlis.
He's been good. Goes across now to Brody O'Day. Certainly started the game very well. Been a bit quieter since. He's unsure which way to go. Homps was on a very long lead. He ignores that. Goes there. Luke Slattery is putting heavy pressure on Dylan Fowlis on the mark. Now he goes across and finds Hughes. They're just chipping the ball, making their way through this very tight Krista Brook defence. Now Hughes goes a little bit longer. He's overlooking towards Homps. Homps gets hands to it. Probably should have nearly taken that. He gets the handball there across to Isaac Chapman. Can't keep hold of it. Now he can. Goes back towards the middle. Oh, gee whiz. They can't get anything free here in the forward 50, Chook. Take over.
You just clenched yourself as if it was you that was about to get hit.
Oh,
Ended up in the hands of Fowlis. Fowlis, a handball. Great handball to Bowman. Bowman blazes away from 55 metres, and blazing away is the option that's probably best used because it's gone out of bounds in the full left-hand side of the point post. Peter Richards, what have you got for us?
Well, we had Crystal Brook. They went forward 6 times in a row inside 50 before the last little foray forward by Orroroo.
Foray?
Foray.
Is that the first time you've used the word foray today?
It's a foray.
That's Dean Martin's song.
I know.
Now the ball gets kicked in from the out of bounds and the full kicking and goes into the hands of Richmond. Richmond
had a bit of it today, Chook.
Yeah, he's played all right. He's quick. He's a quick, fit player.
He is.
I'd like him on my side. He goes down towards the wing. Ellery should go up. The big man rises. Good piece of defensive work by Palmer to tap it away from Ellery, who had the set. Hill, what's he doing down there on the half-back line? Handballs to Weckett. Weckett to Capitola. Luke Capitola goes down towards the half-forward line. Good piece of work there by the player in Reid. He does a lot of great work to get the ball on the half-back line, but then he kicks it and it goes smack-bang out of bounds on the full. Almost ends up in the pie tray where the pie warmer is.
Dispossessed Joel Miller. The 2 number 5s were hard at it, but was unable to stop the ball from going out of bounds on the full. Now Crystal Brook taking up a little bit of time arguing about who's actually going to take the kick. It'll end up in the hands of Weckett, right in front of the beer booth here at Jamestown. They put on a magnificent day. Now he chips the ball back over towards, I think that's Seymour. He then chips it across. They're not making any ground. They're just taking a bit of time off the clock now as Luke Capitola gets it back towards Seymour. He goes inside over towards Joe Slattery now with his very bright boots. Handballs the ball across. Now the ball comes from Jack Arbin. Gets it across. Whoa! Over the top. One of the Crystal Brook players has gone over the other, and he has gone down quite heavily. The play will go on. You can keep an eye on him there behind. Gee, they're still throwing themselves in here very late in the day, as we will have a ball up.
I love the fact that you're taking every bump that's happening at the moment, Matt Gamble. That was Lambert that was slammed to the ground. I think he might have banged his head, but he's got up and he's done the third.
He's going again.
He's going again. And he's been flattened again.
We might have a commentator stretch it off.
This time, after being slammed to the ground again, he gets up and throws the ball to the umpire, who throws it skyward. It's on the half-forward line for Crystal Brook. Good piece of work by Aidan Lee again, who's been excellent. Taps it straight down the throat of Nicholas. Nicholas can't get it away, and the umpire will come in and throw it up again. Are you all right to continue, Matt?
That's right. I think I wore a couple of those myself. So as the ball, again, not a lot of free space in there. You can throw, as we say,
a doily.
You can throw a doily over quite a few players here as they have bunched right up as Ben Reid once again. He's been throwing himself in all day. The player there from Orroroo. Unfortunately, though, Orroroo just haven't been able to convert any possession because of the great defence. Now the ball comes out as Orroroo make their way forward. And Catford it is. Nice
pass, Bennett. Bennett, a little chip to Catford. Catford onto Moten. Moten to Bowman. Bowman still got the ball, taps it over the top. It was actually Fowlis that got the ball to Bowman. Bowman gets it in towards Moten now on the half-forward line. Good piece of congested work there. Good defensive work by Crystal Brook to keep the ball, keep on going out. Isaac Chapman ends up getting the ball across. Little chip pass ends up in the hands of Darren Hughes, who has a shot, a blazed shot for goal. It's in the right direction. It's not going to reach the distance. It's not even going to be a minor score. Yes, it is, because Richards gets the ball and he forces it over the line. And that is a minor score to Orroroo. It is,
look, I have said it before, they are very much, not so much underrated, but certainly aren't as star-studded as what the midfield, but the Crystal Brook defence have been absolutely outstanding. 3 goals for the day here for Orroroo. They chip the ball out. I think that is Joe Slattery on the far side. He now comes back in towards as Crystal Brook start to wind the clock down.
42 points the margin in favour of Crystal Brook, probably about halfway through, is it?
It's up to about the 13-minute mark.
13-minute mark of the final quarter here at the Jamestown Oval. They've put on a great day. The weather hasn't been all that flash, but I tell you what, the crowd's been great. The Oval's been great, the netball's been great, and it's been a fantastic day for Northern Areas football.
Tanunda have beaten Williston in the prelim final by 9 points, so they make their way to the grand final in the Barossa.
A lot of people would be very happy with that, with all the circumstances of Williston and their player payments fiasco, but we won't go into that because we're still commentating this great game at Northern Areas at Jamestown Oval. It ends up on the half-back line, ends up in the hands of the player there in Coombe, who's running around and chips it over to Weckett. Weckett's on the wing. He's going to be tackled by Fowlis. No, he's not. He breaks the tackle. Goes inboard looking for Slattery. Slattery, as in the Joe variety, ends up going wide. Looks like he was kicking towards the Orroroo water boy, but the player there in Klingman was there and takes the mark.
Now it comes forward, goes towards Joe Slattery. He's managed to find it.
He's been busy.
He has been, particularly in this second half. More so goes across to his brother in Luke. They're going to have to man up if they want to get any sort of turnover here, Orroroo, but I think they are starting to flatten out now. Ball comes from Seymour, swings the ball all the way over onto the far side, where once again Crystal Brook have been able to get loose. It's chipped over the top. They're maintaining the ball beautifully here, Brad Eagle, as Bowman comes off with blood streaming from his mouth. He's obviously he's copped a knock there. Ball is picked up by Hughes. He makes his way forward. He's over there looking towards Homsch as Brody O'Day makes a run for the goal square. Now doubles back. Over the back there is Jake Fowlis as Homsch now. They haven't really got a big target now. Dennis Redden's coming in. Well, and he's punched the ball towards the line, punched the ball back in towards the square, looking for a crummer, unable to find one as Crystal Brook take the ball over. 3 goals, 9 now, Crystal Brook, 3 goals, 9 Orroroo, 10 goals, 8 Crystal Brook in a very commanding position.
And some of your better work as far as commentary goes, Matt Ganley, saying that Luke Bowman with blood streaming down his chin has had a knock. That's very the ball's on
Trying to paint a picture.
The ball's on the half-back line for Crystal Brook. A piece of work by Campbell Coombe, who is going to go backwards again. They're just doing the old chipping around. The Orroroo aren't manning up the players. Oh, there's a bit of a congestion between Capitola and Richmond. Richmond outmarks his skipper and will waste a bit more time. How many minutes have
they have put the queue in the rack here. They're still going to be going for a fair while. I reckon that's only about 17 minutes, so they'll be chipping around for quite a while if they want to do this for the rest of the game. I think in the end now he goes around the man on the mark. Crystal Brook make their way towards the wing. It's an ugly looking kick over there in front of Millard. He's unable to put a handle on it. It goes out of bounds. Is there no? The boundary umpire is coming forward to throw it back in with the famous one-arm cricket bowl delivery.
Very impressive too for those people that are getting ready for the cricket season. Ball once again congested over there, and as far as this chipping behind and getting the backward play, it's more like someone trying to get extra points for that fantasy football.
Exactly right. Ball is
what they call junk time, isn't it?
Yep, the steam has gone out. Crystal Brook have been too dominant today. They've been too dominant all year. Luke Slattery there holding up the Orroroo player. We're just some 60 metres on the right half forward flank from the Orroroo goal. I haven't managed to trouble it anywhere near enough to be really in this game. They started the first quarter beautifully. They've slowly been put out of the game by a dominant Crystal Brook. Ball is tossed in once more. Lee trying to get the ball back out in the open. Now it gets out in front of that player there, the skipper in Hughes. He comes back in. It goes across towards Catford looking for Dennis Redden. Gets the handball inside. Lovely, well done. And Moten now will go around, wheel onto his right foot and slam that one through. So that's Orroroo's fourth. A little bit of respectability there as we go to about the 18-minute mark here of the last quarter. As Tommy Moten, as we said, he'll run all day, marathon runner. He will go all day, and that's his first for the game. And the first goal for Orroroo since the second quarter.
And Matt, probably fair to say it's about the first time that anyone in the Orroroo forward line's had any space to run into. It's been a very disciplined defensive work by Crystal Brook, and I think, Matt, you summed it up beautifully in the fact that we always talk about the Coombs and the Capitolas and the work in the centre. I'll tell you what, their defensive line has been absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely first class, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. The ball making its way back to the centre as there's a couple of interchanges happening as we speak. The weather's getting a bit cooler, it's getting a bit darker, but once again, hats off to everyone involved in the Jamestown community for what has been a fantastic day. The ball goes skyward, good piece of work by Cooch, the ruckman, ends up in the hands of Capitola, who kicks it straight down the throat of Catford, who's asked to play on straight away. Gets down to the half-forward line. Richmond ends up with it. Richmond, handball straight away to his coach in Slattery. Slattery to Eagle. Eagle ends up in the hands of Seymour. Seymour has the ball. He does a bit of a shimmy and takes a bounce and goes down towards the half-forward line looking for the player. Good piece of work there. I'm not sure whether that'll be it was a mark. I thought it might have been a free kick, but Millard plays on straight away, looking for the big fella in Hill. He spoils the mark. Ellery taps it out with his foot, and it's going to be a throw-in on the far side, 50 metres out from the Crystal Brook goals, on the left-hand side of the point, both over near the scoreboard for those people who know the Jamestown Oval, which shows a 45-point margin in favour of Crystal Brook.
Lovely work. We might get one more little squall before the day's out here, but the ball now comes out. Hill then looks out, thought he had someone on the outside, didn't, then tried to pull that handball unsuccessfully. Now it comes out towards Chapman. He gets the ball across. Lee still going. He's been going all day. Dylan Fowler. He can't put a handle on it now. He's getting heavy pressure. Lovely work. Through comes the player there, I think, in Arvin.
Yes.
He then makes his way forward and finds Big Dan Hill. They're pointing towards the goals. They're looking for the big man in Eagle, to be my guess, Chook.
Correction, 35 points the margin. Hill plays on straight away and looks for Richmond and finds him. Still the same amount of distance out. Correction, as mentioned, 35 points margin. Richmond with the ball. He's going to be kicking from 50. Doesn't think he can reach the distance, and rightfully so, so he passes. For some reason, he passes straight to the Orroroo player, who plays on straight away and ends up in the hands of, well, it's a very, very bad kick, but it's going to end up in the hands of Brodie O'Day. Brodie O'Day swings onto his left and plays on and gets to the player there in Finn. Finn kicks down towards the half-forward line, finds the player there, and Matt Ganley, he's played all right once the ball's got down there. Dennis Redden.
Yeah, he's certainly been under the pump. They've had good numbers behind the ball. That's not his best kick going forward there towards Homps. He slaps his hands together. He's a little bit frustrated himself. It's actually gone out of bounds on the full. So yes, he's not happy with that. The ball now comes across from Richards.
Very quickly, Kingscote has just won the grand final in Kangaroo Island. 6 goals, 10-70 to 6 goals, 7. That wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be right at all. 6 goals, 10-70 wouldn't be the right addition. But anyway, it's a 3-point win to Kingscote. We'll get back to that score once.
We hope.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know once the person who sent through the text gets his maths right. But anyway, BSR has also beaten Blythe Snowtown. BSR 8 goals 10 have defeated Blythe Snowtown. Game is over. 8 goals 10 BSR have defeated Blythe Snowtown. 4 goals 7.
Ball is on the far wing. Long way away from us here, over near the other beer booth on the other side. Now the ball comes back in. In goes Joe Slattery once more. He's taken from the ball. That's Will Coombe. Makes his way forward. Good work there by the Orroroo defender. Take it away from Dan Hill. That was the man there in Damien Ellery. Still on the very far side of the ground. We've had plenty of ball ups. We've had plenty of throw-ins. Once more it comes across. Adam Coops giving a rare cut out there in the ruck. Now it comes forward. Ball is hacked forward there by the skipper in Tommy Reid. It's gone over the back as Crystal Brook have dropped the extra play back. He tries to break the tackle unsuccessfully. Yes, in the end he did break the tackle, but not quickly enough. And Tom Moten has managed to successfully tackle Luke Seymour there. He'd probably have 20 kilos on him. He's only very small, Tom Moten, but gee whiz, he's got some talent. He goes towards goal. Could it be 2 1/4? Big leap there from Homps. He's unable to bring it in as the coach has been all over this defence in the last quarter just to steady things back there. Lots of experience there from Luke Slattery. Played a lot of games with Port Adelaide, played a lot of games in other leagues. He's a beautiful player.
Beautiful player, and obviously a victorious coach, the way things are going.
Very much so.
Pretty happy, and we'll catch up with him after the game. Obviously, he kicks the ball in from full back, goes down towards the players there. Good congested ball, and once again, Richmond, who's been very busy, he's tackled straight away. Good piece of work by Orroroo to get the ball back. Goes in towards Hughes. Not sure what the umpire's seen. I reckon he might have seen a bit of a legging.
Yeah.
Didn't see an advantage, so he's called the ball back, and Orroroo, I reckon that's Moten again. He's got the ball. It's getting very dark here in Jamestown. Nice little pass. Once again, it's on the 50-metre arc. Another pass looking for Catford. Catford will be kicking. I reckon the distance will be almost his distance due to the fact that he is kicking with a bit of a breeze. Catford, he's usually a defender, so he's decided I haven't got the confidence to have a shot for goal, so I'll go for Homps. He kicks it down there, but it ends up in the hands of Capitola. Capitola to Seymour. Seymour, last line of defence, chips the ball over and finds, I reckon that's Weckett over there in the far side pocket. Once again, it is getting dark here at the Jamestown Oval.
Halfway through the last quarter in the Adelaide Plains, the last score we've got 2 Wells 83 to Balaclava 43. So 2 Wells are looking the goods there. Another red and white side. Now the ball will be kicked forward right deep onto the wing as a few of the crowd here starting to leave. Comes back towards Catford. He's trying to find a free target. In the end, he manages to find Dylan Fowler. He's gone forward. Have they got any targets up there? Through come Homps, who's tried hard all day. Now it's snapped around the corner. Unsuccessfully, though, as that's gone to the right-hand side. Another point there to Orroroo. 4 goals 11. They've been under heavy pressure any time they have had a shot at goal. Have you got any stats of interest there for us, Pete?
Oh, not really. No.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
Well, you walked right into that.
You've gone beautifully all day. You've let us down at the last hurdle. The ball gets kicked in. It's on the back line. Ends up in the hands of Nathan Lambert. Lambert uses his left, not very successfully. Dribbles along the ground. It's going to come back into the Orroroo forward line. No, it's not. A great piece of work by Nicholas to pick up the ball, but he was tackled straight away and he's been done for holding the ball.
I've been waiting to use that one all year. But, there's the siren.
There's the siren. You've waited until 30 seconds to go and he's given us absolute donuts. It's the final siren has gone. All players are gathered around. The Orroroo boys are slumped over themselves and the Crystal Brook boys are celebrating their fantastic win. The score being 10 goals 8, 68 to 4 goals 11, 35 is what we've got. And Matt Ganley, what have you got for us?
Yeah, no, look, it's good to see. Crystal Brook have had a lot of success. As we said, they've only lost 4 minor round games in the last 5 years. They've had a lot of success, but it is very interesting there. The two I think the most excited ones that are out there are both the Eagle boys. Now Jason has come back to play with his brother up here in Crystal Brook. They've managed to go through, as we said, though, the bookends at full forward and full back. They've managed to go all the way through. Super effort here for Crystal Brook. The game did peter out a little bit there in the last quarter, but that takes nothing away from the dominant performance that these mighty Roosters have put up. They've been great all year, and they've shown everybody today why they have sat so far out ahead in the table. And they've pulled away, and once again, exactly as it was in half time, they have managed to end up doubling the score. So 10 goals 8, 68 to 4 goals 10, 34, and we're getting a thumbs up there from Pete to say that is correct. So they have.
We've woken Peter up after he fell asleep with a minute to go, Matt. But
got dark.
Yeah.
Matt,
it's been a brilliant game, and you've summed it up beautifully in the fact that team performance from front to back, from back to front. Crystal Brook have been very dominant all the way through.
100%. They've only had they've had no one that scored any more than 2 goals. They've had people from all over the ground, all over the park that have played well. Orroroo come out and absolutely give it to them as much as they could. Went as hard as they could in that first quarter, kicking into the breeze, and the score at quarter time had them only 5 points behind. And to be honest, if you're putting a line through it at that point, you'd say that Orroroo would have been effectively in front. But of course, then the Crystal Brook, with their experience, with their ability, were able to slam on 5 goals in the second to only 2 goals there in return. So that really set it up there, and they just continued it on. And gradually, the longer the game went, the further that they went ahead. They were unable to get any sort of rhythm going, Orroroo, and Crystal Brook showed the reason why they are as good as what they are. I think
it's been a fantastic day, and it's been capped off with a beautiful game, a fantastic game here at the Jamestown Oval. And Matt, I think as far as the dominance of Crystal Brook's concerned, and the scoreline being double, and everything that's been going on in regards to this great game of ours, the northern area should hold their head up high in regards to the quality of the grand final. The whole day has been brilliant, and we quite often don't praise the umpires, but once again, I think the umpires have been very good today. You cannot fault the umpires from the way they've performed today.
Well, they were a little bit critical perhaps with one high tackle, but apart from that, they went unnoticed. I mean, Peter, what was the free kick count in the end? They did let the game move pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, they did. There were only 26 frees paid all day, 17 to Orroroo, 9 to Crystal Brook. Yeah. So, Crystal Brook didn't get that many free kicks. They just made their own success.
And as far as the performance of Jamestown and putting on this great day, they've got everything organised. They've probably the only thing they haven't organised well was the weather, as far as the cold, the wind, and the wet. But it's been a brilliant day.
Run up right, Joyce. Coach Steve Myrtle. And coach number 2, Luke Slattery. grand final. That goes and now the present and the cup is Taylor. Yeah, congratulations, guys. Third week in Orroroo boys, passport owners are playing the right here and after extraordinary appreciation and all people involved, thanks for another great year. All our supporters, football and netball club, get right on London. Yeah, thanks very much. To our boys, yeah, hard-driven. I think it's no surprise that most people want us to lose today, so that just keeps driving us. So we'll come back again next year and go again. The Turtles, thanks a lot for coaching us this year. It's been brilliant, and yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you very much for sticking around. I probably don't want to hear me right now, but the Orroroo, the battles you've had, we really respect the way you go about it. We've tried exactly the same to do, so thanks very much for a great year. Everyone that made this day happen, all the volunteers in the bar, selling food, absolutely fantastic. Brook, absolutely brilliant. Everyone played their role today, from water boys, runners, bench coach, excellent. So we're very, very happy. Thank you very much, and thank you. Thank you, boys. All year and working again today. I think that's very unbelievable. Here at football, you're there to keep the up, slow down. And on behalf well, boys, after you celebrate, I do want to say a few thank you. The full ring and Secretary out of Brook and the Jamestown for being able to find support. Thank you for the organisation today. Also, Sally Carson.